Welcome to Down the Vale. We're back with more episodes, bigger and better than ever, hopefully. We are back here in our little own environment, which is really nice. A huge thanks though to Taylor Talks Trades, still supporting us throughout our journey as we kind of get going. So big thanks to those guys. You can check everything out they do down below. Joined by the other voice of the football club and Mr. David Hasty. How are you?
I'm good, mate. How are you?
Very well. And we've actually got a semi-decent guest as well.
Yes.
DJ.
Semi-decent, I'll pay that.
Semi-decent. I can't remember what I called Brian McPhee last week, to be fair, but
We'll go. Got me better than semi-decent this year. Let's call that out. Thumbs up.
my word, what's that? DJ, how are you?
This is how it's going to go. We're going to have a good time, isn't it? I've been good, mate. Great. I'm really excited to be here, actually. This has been good. Buzzing.
How's life been recently?
A bit hectic, to be honest. 2 kids, one on the way, so there's another one in February due as well, so it's a wee bit
busy.
It's just been a bit mad, but it's great, love it.
Aye, perfect. Football so far this season, obviously Lions get promoted back. Is it something you keep an eye on?
I always I actually keep an eye on all the teams that I have played for, to be fair, which I have found out recently that they're on their own, and I support the other team in them. Anyway, I do. No, listen, I do. I like to look, just make sure. I know a lot of the boys that are still here, of the backroom staff, stuff like that as well. Obviously, Davy Martindale was here when I first. He was first here when I was in as well. So I know I still look at the results. Have been good.
Must be a few stories of the backroom stuff now.
Aye, we'll get to that.
We'll get to that. Local lad, kind of growing up, everything else.
Yeah.
How was the childhood of Darren Jamieson?
Not really got a sob story, to be honest.
No.
I had a really good childhood, I think.
Thanks very much for tuning in to Down the Vale.
As far as I'm aware, I can't really tell you anything went wrong, to be honest. It was really good. Kind of got what I wanted whenever I wanted it. So, no, listen, great. We probably, even if you start right back, so we were Paul Beth. My mum and dad split up when we were about 11. That's probably the only part of the sob story, I would say. Other than that, no, we went into West Calder, my mum, me and my brother. I know it was really good. I had a really good upbringing. School was always fine for me. I've only gone to my brother right enough, but for me it was completely fine.
Favourite subject at school?
Primary school probably, rather than high school. But when I was in primary school, I don't know why, I was really good at maths. So we used to all stand at the front of the chalkboard. I just remember it being a chalkboard. Do you know what I mean? I remember that, and they used to slide it, and it was like 3 different.
I've got a story about a chalkboard.
So chalkboards, that was I don't know, I imagined it. Stand back to back. You used to stand in the middle of the room back to back, and it was just times tables. So it was like an 8 times 4 year. And you had to be first. So if you were first, you stayed up. They sat down. I just used to stand up. Easy peasy, this is fine. Right, and what is it now? 8 times 5, 40 pound. Sit down. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. So maths would have been my favourite. Going up to high school, you need to say obviously PE and things like that. So it's obvious, and it was obviously really good at PE. Going into like your hires and things like that, it's 50% practical, and you needed to be able to kick a ball up there. Do you know what I mean? It's what I've been doing for 25 years. So
Did you need catch it enough?
no, you didn't need catch either. Not thankfully. As long as you could just kick it away, it was fine. Aye. That's what I've been doing for 30 years, so I'll be fine.
Hasty, favourite subject?
Favourite subject for me? Probably computing. No, computing. I was a right geek in school, as you know. Yeah, I absolutely love computing. I got so many grades on computers. Like I got 3 hires, 3 of them were to do with computing.
What about computing that? See, when I used to do it, you're like, you can look at the keyboard and you have to look away at that.
I can do that. I can touch
You can have it, but it wasn't good.
I there's no odds limit it.
Now, you used to get a typewriter as well. You used to just bang it like that. You could just do it really fast.
It's worked out really well for me here because I do the match reports and I can watch the match whilst I'm typing. It's quite
swear, aye.
No, like, remember Mavis Beacon? Did you ever do like business management like before you probably dropped it?
Higher A in business management. It might be a lie. My teacher watches, I'm sorry.
Sorry, Miss McTiernan. Do you remember Mavis Beacon? It was like the typing thing and you had to put your fingers on the right position.
ASDF.
I was all about
That's what I mean. Aye, good. I was
all about that. Absolutely loved it.
Right.
So, yeah, computing for me.
Never thought we'd get to Mavis speaking, but there we go.
Music was good as well,
Started
actually.
well. Yeah, I don't like it better.
Yeah.
Can't get more worse there. I'm not getting invited back, I tell you that.
What was your dream job?
Dream jobs are easy to say football. Like, to be honest, it probably was football. I have a good story. I've told it loads of times. It's on the way back from my my dad's mum. So my grand's but on my dad's side. My mum and dad had split up at this point. Not, would I say that they'd fell out? Maybe did fall out. But you know, when you're younger, you're probably quite naive to it. You don't actually know what's going on.
Aye.
So the story is, my mum and my gran had fell out a wee bit, and basically says me and my brother would never make it. We've got to be alcoholics. We're not got to do anything in life, blah, blah, blah. My mum was in the car that day. I would have been probably about 11, 12 maybe. My brother slightly younger, obviously. And she says to us, what do you want to be? I said football, and my brother said chef. And she's like, right. It says, you've got 10 years to make it. And it's like one of the ones that 11. I'm like, 10 years? Like, aye, that's fine, no problem. I see now you hang back. So if you said that to me now, I've got 10 years, I'll be like, oh my God, 10 years is that? Aye, so it's always been football.
Always a goalkeeper?
No, definitely no goalkeeper. Not. So when I first started, I was a defender.
Right.
I had Charlie Burns, great guy, great coach. Still kind of try and keep in contact with him as much as I can now. He used to say to me all the time, run about, find the ball, kick the people, do whatever you need to do, and then just get to someone else that's good. And I'm like, right, perfect.
Easy peasy.
So I used to run about, kicking people. It was the best thing ever. Pass it to somebody else that was good in the team. And then one of the wee goalies got injured one day. So he says to me, right, you can do what you're doing, but you can now use your hands. And I'm like, oh, even better. So I'm running about kicking people, pick them up, and then kick that away. And that was for 8-year-old. So it's just kind of always kind of been there. And I've always said, right for 16 actually, when I first signed, I know we got on it, but when I first signed at Livingston, if I didn't ever get a professional contract, whether I get released and I didn't ever find another team, I would go back playing my pals up front.
Really?
I always said I wanted to do that. And I've had a contract ever since. So
I remember we had a wee kickabout. You remember?
Aye, that was a good time.
You were up front, and I remember being completely shocked because you know Darren's a keeper, right? DJ's a keeper, and I think I remember you were up front, and I think I did a long throw, and he's caught it beautifully, one touch, and that. But he's had this just outstanding touch, and then he's just leathered it top bins, and I'm like, you're a goalkeeper. You're not supposed to be able to do that. Honestly, it was incredible. You have got some strike on you, to be fair.
A lot of people do say that to me as well. Technique-wise, it's always been there. Ever since I was really wee, actually. And I've just always wanted to play the field, but it never really came about. So, and I'm not saying I didn't love what I do now, because I actually love being in goals now. But if you were to swap it down and say to me, do you want to go play the field? I'd be like, nah, don't feel like I'm fit enough. I'm a wee bit older now, I'm a wee bit more sensible now, if that makes sense. I probably wouldn't want to go to field anymore. But back then, what do that?
Do you build up a mental resiliency in terms of, because a lot of kind of lonely times being a goalkeeper as well, it's not really part of the team, but no part of the team.
Oh, you need to. Aye, I mean, I think as well, obviously, again, it goes back to the younger you are, and if you're good in your play. Didn't quite work out like that when I was that age as well. When I seen like the Griffiths coming through, and then I seen Mark McNulty, and then I seen Stefan School, and then if you could name, I could name a full start 11 players that have came through that I was in my youth team, and they've all played before me. I've said that we've had a running joke before. I mean, Cam Fordyce, is it?
Obviously.
Both of us used to look in the paper every single Sunday, and it was subs not used, Jamieson Fordyce, every week for 3 seasons, and it was like I'm close. I'm just about there, but I'm not playing yet, and it's annoying me. And it wasn't until 23 that I actually got my debut, my sort of first team start, like being the number one choice. So
how difficult was that? How you talk about that mental resilience, but professional football is what you want to be your whole life, and you say that you're right on the edge. You're right there. How tough is that for you? Like, was there ever any point in your mind where you were going, "This is just never going to happen for me"?
It's 23 is not that late though, in terms of being a goalkeeper, I don't think.
No, see, that's another
argument. That's like you can play a wee bit kind of longer on the other side.
Aye, exactly that. So, I mean, I've seen it now, like Kyle Jacobs, for example, was just retired in the summer.
Yeah.
I played with him at Stenhousemuir last year, obviously. He is missing it. He's told me he's missing it. I still message him. Message him every Saturday. But anyway, he's at the point where he's now retired, and I'm thinking, like, I've got years yet. But we'll see. We'll get on to that. I'm anticipating having at least 4 or 5 years left, which is the 4 or 5 years that they had at the start, which I'm sort of catching up on now, which is a good thing. But at that time, I didn't necessarily have any sort of loan moves, but I did have an opportunity at one point, almost, to go to Elgin City.
Right.
So that was the season before I got in. It was only going to be 6 months. It was for January onwards. And I do remember the kind of conversations happening, and then it just kind of dwindled out and it never happened. Absolutely. And it is one of the ones as well that I was like, I wonder what would have happened if I'd have went up there, made all the kind of mistakes and all that you do as a kid.
Out the way.
Do all the silly things, you know what I mean? Like, you do drop the ball every so often and things like that as well, and I still do it now, but I just didn't do it that often. But hopefully, aye, so these little things like that I was like, I might have been better when I came into Livingston and being the first choice, because my first season, like, I think I got dropped like 3 or 4 times in the season. It wasn't for John McGlynn coming in, I probably wouldn't have then played for the rest of that season. So these things, I mean, they happen for a reason, I get that, but still could have been better rather than a shaky start.
Absolutely. Let's go to Murieston, where kind of things begun for you in terms of the football stuff. Obviously well known within the area, I've been very decent boys club. Was there any other players within that kind of environment that came through with you?
Aye, again, it's probably name a starting 11 of professionals again that were in that team. It was great. So originally in the high school years, where I'm a February born, so I'm in like the year above for like everybody else. So I started off at Murieston Reds, which was the team above, and then I don't know how it all transpired, but anyway, I ended up doing with they called them the Yorkies. I don't know if it's still like they might still be a big thing, I don't know, but we were one of the best teams that Murieston have ever created. So in that team there was 8 years that went professional, or pro youth I should say, rather than professional. And I think the other 4 did get the trials. So in the full entire 12 that we had, like, there was basically every single player was in the youth systems at some point, which is outstanding if you think about it that way. But then when you start to name the players that were in the team, like your Danny Wilson, what a career he's had, again, obviously at Livingston now, but the moves that he's had in the background is unbelievable. Right for a really young age as well, playing obviously at Rangers.
They're looking very awkward at Liverpool.
Things like that as well. Do you know what I mean?
Him and Joe Cole sitting together.
Well, aye, but even that though, you're like, wow, I played with him and he was 8. That's amazing. But then after that, I've got loads of different. I've been name dropped everybody, but obviously the triplets are in that team. Rhys McCabe, Darren Cole. I mean, Nicky Clark as well at Ross County now. But so right from the very, very start, I was probably in a professional environment, if you will, if you want to make it like that, with the players that we had, and we had Sandy Clark as our coach as well, who again at the time I think he'd just been sacked for at Johnston, but I'm not telling it.
Cruise and Muri, but
sorry,
through the Yorkies.
But he was fair does didn't Mason Jonas says that. He didn't like St Johnston anyway, and I was shit. Aye, so he was the coach, and again at the time he didn't even realise you're doing it, but we were doing shape and things like that at 8 years old, 9 years old, and you're like at the time it's just normal. It's what you've all done. You know what I mean? But I mean, we had points in the season that we were like, if we concede a goal, we would be running on the Tuesday when we're back in training. Yeah. So the boys, you can tell, are just trying so hard just not to concede a goal, even though we'd scored 15 at the other end. We were like, don't care, we need it to be a 0, so we're no running. And that's just how it worked. So we incentives that we did have at that point, but the team was unbelievable, really good.
I was going to ask you, I didn't know Sandy Clark was your coach. Was football easy? Like, see, at that sort of age, would the coach matter to an extent because of the amount of talent, natural talent that was kind of there?
At the time, I would probably have said no. Like, so, see, when you play at that age, you didn't realise that how much is going through your head, if that makes sense. But see, at that age, you're just like, it's fine, just get the ball and I'll just play it. And if somebody comes to try and tackle me, I'll step over him and all that way. I'm in goal, so what? It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it. You didn't, you know, you
just shout any money anyway.
Didn't even bother, you know. What's that over there? They're running away with the ball. That's what I tried to do anyway. I mean, even at that point, I was on penalties. I used to take the penalty kicks. I was by 8 out of 8. I'm just got to throw it there, and it can be confirmed by every single person in that team as well. Just I am because he just said this. Exactly. That's Danny. I know there was so many sort of wee bits that you probably didn't realise at the time as to how professional it was. Aye. So back then you felt like it was easy, but I reckon the coach definitely helped.
Fair. Did you ever play Tig?
Ever play Tig? That's an inside joke.
Aye, so you know how I play my flag American football.
Right, okay. Yeah.
Calls it Tig.
Oh,
it's ticking.
He thinks it's funny. We'll cut that. We'll cut that. Flags Sunday. We'll cut that now.
Tig with flags.
Flying the flag for.
What did it actually do? Is it like the touch rugby? Aye.
It's just touch right. It's touch rugby, but you played American football, so it's 5-a-side. You're still.
Sounds like a laugh.
It's actually very good.
No, I haven't been serious. I know. I genuinely think I'd like that.
No, it's see once you retire, we'll get you off.
Aye, once I retire, man,
Got 5 years to go. You'll be retired.
once I need to figure out something to do in a salad.
I'm already retired.
You'll be the TIG coach. Good old sand-based Astro back in the day as well.
It was that one. To be fair, Murieston's basically what was there, like 15 pitches or something. Like that grass bit's unbelievable as well. Like, for facilities wise and things like that. Like they actually just done the clubhouse up, so it's still very similar to what it is now when I was there. Which
I remember. I think I've maybe put a year above you.
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
Well, so that's kind of a testament to how good it was back then as well, though, that it is still the same now. It's just needed slight improvements and things like that. It's been great.
Aye.
And I think they've just been approved for that pitch as well, to be redone.
I think it's getting done. I thought
That's amazing.
really good.
So,
It's always been like we're three local boys, you know. We know what Murray was like, and it was always up there. I should remember every day coming home from school, the first thing you were doing was going up, and you were going on to the Astro, and you were kicking a ball.
Massive games on a Friday and stuff like that. After school on a Friday.
you have to take me up and just play.
Any money.
Playing Cuppy with 400 folk.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It would take genuinely like 8 or 9 hours to get through it.
Yeah.
And then when you get to the final, it's like, well, just go for a draw.
Can't we what I
Can't that lads with it.
I got the road.
Oh, my lord, just got the road.
Like the thing is, and you look at it and you're like, Jesus, how did I like I can't even.
Then you were still standing with your arm out waiting to be free. You went to the toilet time? You don't have.
I can't even run for 30 minutes nowadays, and you're running about for 5-6 hours, and it was
crazy.
And it was people who maybe you only really knew a little bit from school to people who are maybe your best pals, but all you just got together, and I think that was the big thing for Murray back then. I don't know what Murray's like now, but as a central hub for everyone who lived in that part of Livingston, it was an incredible facilities.
Yeah, really
for everyone. Back when we were allowed to just play football.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been doing the same thing now, to be fair. My wee boy goes to a class now at Murieston, do you know what I mean? He's not even 2 yet. He's 2 in October. So even wee things like that they've got like loads of different like sort of classes and things like that for kids, and that's amazing. It's been really good.
The women's team's good as well, Murray. They're genuinely so good with everything that they've got as a setup now.
Community hub, isn't it?
I'll just sit this list. I wanted to be the best.
I would agree with that.
Once I retire, I'm going to coach there. That's to let me in. That's like, mind me when I was 8, 30 years ago. Remember that, right, Bill? I'm better than I promised.
Sandy Clark, I was good. Sandy Clark has scored 8 out of 8 penalties.
Hey, goodness, I said East Coast.
There you go. Yeah, they'll need them soon. Under force. Everywhere's needing them soon.
Murieston comes to an end.
Yeah.
Rangers after that. Did you understand the kind of enormity of the move, let's say?
But obviously, no, I don't do, to be honest. I think it's very similar, like he says. I'm still at this point, maybe 11, roughly 11, 12, something like that. I'm actually still just seeing it as like football with friends. That Murieston team, we played Livingston. They beat us 3-2, I think it was.
How much running did you have to do on a Tuesday?
Exactly. That was one of them ones. No, but John Flick played for Livingston that day. I remember that. That's the reason I remember is because when he scored the winning goal, and then we played Rangers as well, but we actually beat the Rangers team 7-4. Again, running, but still really good that we'd done so well against that Rangers team. And the reason I remember is because John Flick scored a hat-trick that day as well. Good guy, 2 games against him. He scored 4 goals. Anyway, moving on.
He still had a pure
exactly.
Had a pure career, the boy there.
That was it. So from that age, I'm still probably just at the point when I'll just enjoy it. When I went in, moved into Rangers at that, the very first time we were there, never forget it, we were in the away changing room, we were all sitting, so there's 7 years in the team that went to the Rangers team at that time, and all the other guys that we'd played against. So we're obviously all sitting in, like, nervous, you know what I mean? You kind of, I don't know if I'd say I was even confident, I probably wasn't confident to be honest, but you just feel like you maybe are because you're like, we've just beat you, it's like, you're going out the door, you're coming in kind of high, do you know what I mean though? Like, so we were sitting there and he's, the coach at the time, he's looked round at us and he says to us basically, there's 7 of you guys, he's played really well the other night, he's were great, and then turns and just, it goes nuts. He went nuts at the other players there. And that was the first time I've ever heard somebody shouting so loudly at somebody, and I was like, "Oh,
this is different."
And that's maybe at that point where I've went, maybe now it's different.
Aye.
And then going in, that's the first time I'd had a goalie coach. I believe he was actually a volleyball coach. I don't know if that's good or bad, because then that technically means you can't catch it. You're supposed to actually
Just punching it.
Explains so much about your games.
Wow.
We'll get on to that. I'm going to keep short now. We'll get on to that. So volleyball coach. The best thing he done was just showed you your W's. He actually changed it for me. Rather than being a W, he says it can be a diamond.
Right.
It's so stupid. We're not going to get into it because it's really mundane. It's boring as anything. But what
football,
exactly that. So what they basically said, what he says to me was, your hands aren't big enough for a W, change it to that. So point your fingers instead of your thumbs.
Yeah.
And ever since that day, I've still do that now. Yeah. And I was like, at the time, like, wow, so much information. I don't know what's going on here. And all the guy's really done is put a couple of cones down and tell me to go through it. And I was like, oh, I don't know what to do. So that was at Ibrox when we used to do that. The wee pitch that they've got at the guy. That then progressed into Murray Park. I'm not sure what it's called now. What is it called?
Auchenhowie, isn't it? Auchenhowie.
Oh, it is Auchenhowie, yeah.
That one. That big unbelievable facility.
Aye, that one.
Again, at 12 years old, you're like, wow, it's amazing. Even just walking through the corridor and things like that. And there's a few times, like random ones where we've had like late fitness tests and things. Marvin Andrews, I'll never forget it. Seen it on 11-a-side goal, seen a ball in it, ran to get the ball, turned, and I just seen Marvin Andrews run towards me. I was like, wow. The size of that guy. And it was because he came back for international duty. He was doing late fitness tests at night so he could play at the weekend, things like that. But I mean, just even seeing it, you're like, Alice McLeish, they did a 5-a-side thing as well when we turned up. They were always playing a 5-a-side with all the coaches and things like that as well. So you're getting to see all them, and it's just amazing.
Superb.
Absolutely amazing.
Who were the goalkeepers at Rangers at that time? Early 2000s? Kloss?
I know McGregor was there but he was younger. I think he was maybe on loan to Dunfermline actually.
Yeah,
that season.
That's right. Aye.
Or possibly the year after he went on loan to Dunfermline.
Right.
Whatever one it was, because I remember he came in at night and trained us once.
Did he?
Amazing. It was unbelievable. Boy Callum Reedford, I remember. I'm not sure what he's done now, but like back in the day, Kenny did just float about, like similar to what I've done, a wee bit of a journeyman, like floated about, always played professional. Really good as well. The goalies in the first team of the boy with Waterous with the he's got two right feet, you know what I mean, two left feet. Oh my
the
God.
big perm.
He was incredible as well.
And Stop toward the shovel past him.
I
remember that.
There you go. That's right.
We drew to each.
Brilliant.
We drew to each.
But he was good as well. Very good. I mean, like right foot, left foot, he was the one that you look up to and like, right, if you want to be in him, you want to be like him, he was good. Probably similar if you're looking at it now, like a modern day Ederson who was like that. He could play now, no problem.
Yeah.
Aye. If you're splitting out at the back and all that now, you're asking him to take the ball on his back foot
and drive it
out, no problem.
I actually think he was maybe a bit before his time in that way, because that's not the way that Rangers played back.
No, not exactly.
I remember, I think he got a little bit of stick, in that team, which, as you say, is you're going like lamenting just how good he was. It's incredible to think the stick that he maybe got. I suppose coming off the back of it being Kloss before him as well was always going to be a tough.
Kloss was unbelievable.
He was a main man.
Did you look up to anybody in particular? You mentioned kind of Al McGregor there. Was that
heroes when I was younger? Iker Casillas. But do you know what it was? See, when I don't watch it obviously as much now, but see when you used to watch the Spanish football at like 9 o'clock at night.
You were talking about this other day.
So, like, Super Sunday used to be, like, genuinely for, like, 12 o'clock in the day until, like, 10 o'clock at night. You would just sit in your bed, just watch football. 100%. And now I wish I could go back to it, because I would probably watch it again. Yeah. It's at the point now where, like, my kids will be in their bed. My missus is tired, so she'll be in her bed, and I would sit and watch it. I genuinely would, but it's just no there. Oh, well, it would be, but it's another £15 a month.
Don't know for what, there's no fee for this, by the way. You can't get a 1 month subscription.
You get a 1 month, right? You get a trial, so it'll be alright.
Try it.
If you buy socks and these gloves, you'll be able to get a Sky Sports subscription.
Yes, please.
We didn't actually speak about that the other day, though. I think it might have been maybe me and Dave Black, actually. We were talking about, like, that's what it was, and you just run all the way through. You could name every Real Madrid player, every Barcelona player, every random scuddy that played in Spain.
Correct.
But you could name every single one of them.
No, you couldn't name
everything.
I couldn't name a starting 11. No,
ITV had the Champions League, I remember that, and it was just incredible. I remember vividly Manchester United playing Bayer Leverkusen.
Oh, right, aye.
And what was his name? He actually ended up playing for Manchester. Berbatov. It was like young Berbatov, and you're watching him just run riot.
Exactly. I was really waiting on you getting that wrong.
I was
I was waiting on you going with the 99 final. So I got it right. I was all over it.
No, it was a group. I remember it being a group match. It was Leverkusen, and Berbatov was outstanding, and I think it is a shame that so much football is now moved behind that paywall, even if it is 15 quid, but it's 15 quid there, and then it's a tenner there.
I think I've seen something the other day, like if you were going to go full Sky package, Premier Sports, TNT, and you wanted to miss a game, you'd be over 200 quid a month.
Yeah.
It's crazy for that.
Well,
you could just go to Parkhead. I think that's expensive.
You're right, but I think the point is...
and you'll know what you eat.
An expensive pull there. I think the point is though, like they spoke about the European qualifiers that were on, and they were on 6 different like channels that were behind paywalls.
Yeah, exactly.
6 different channels to be able to go and watch Hibs or Aberdeen or Rangers or Celtic.
It is 6 channels back in the day.
No, these are just
It was Sky Sports 1, Sky Sports 2. So
exactly. 100%. DJ, we're going to do a few. I've put them down as quick fires, but they don't need to be quick fires.
Oh, they'll
be any level of fire you want.
I'll try my best to be quick then.
Best ever save you've seen?
Seen on the TV or in in real life?
Either, both.
Casillas is one on the TV, Sevilla. He's actually cut it right across, and the boys must have been about 3 yards out, and he's managed to get there.
Unbelievable. Did you see John save it? Cheers.
To be fair, it was unbelievable save.
Sensational.
What a save it is.
best save I've ever seen.
And by the way, the boys in the sports scene have absolutely killed him as well.
Aye.
Did you hear them? Did you see that? So basically, it's an unbelievable save, but there's no point in that if you've got to make a mistake for the goals. They were like, give him his minute, will we?
Hi, give him a minute. Your Celtic Park, 60,000 people.
You're in a save.
It's the way he manages to run it full pelt to get back across the
So it was similar to that, but instead of it being higher, it was lower. So he's got down low. Is just unbelievable. And I think he's actually done it twice in his career, and believe it or not, it's both times against Sevilla.
Yeah.
Once he's cleared it and it's went away, once it hit the post and went away.
That's a rivalry as well, isn't it?
I think it is. The way that they used to be when you were younger, but so I remember that one. That was unbelievable. As far as actual saves in person, me against Stranraer in the semi-final of the Petrofac Cup. Penalty save. That was a good one as well. Listen, see for excitement and things like that, I would go with something like that. And I'm just got to say it was me. Why not?
What's that mean to you? Like, they were putting us into the final.
Oh, it's amazing. Every time it comes up, my
celebration was incredible.
Aye, that's exactly what it is. I always look at it and go, how did I survive that? There was about 25 people on top of me. And the one thing I remember is, because I was on
anxiety.
I looked up and somebody was knee sliding towards me. And I was like, and my hands are like that by my sides as well, so I can't do it. And I was looking and go, don't bite my nose.
I was
Tasty just trying to get freed to get.
So I was generally jumping about like an umpty in the stand right at the half bit. It was so good. Yeah, it was so good.
Next one, best player you've played with.
Probably I'll go with Bobby Lynn. The reason I go with Bobby Lynn is because in the season that he played, with that League One season at Arbroath, he was incredible.
The bin man?
And the bin man. And I mean, like, he was a boxing bin man at that point. He was fit as in it, and he was just an absolute joke. I would, like, so other players, like, for example, I've played with Dorrans, I've played with Snodgrass, and I've played with Griffiths as well. Like, they're unbelievable players, but at the time they were a wee bit younger. I remember being on the bench against Queen of the South, and the bench was me, Snod and Dorrans. But even looking at it back then, I would look at it and maybe say, like, I've got a chance here. Snodgrass and Dorrans are next to me. I never had a chance, but at the time I did think I had a chance, you know what I mean? So I've played with incredible players, but for someone that's actually done it the full season that I did play with, and then obviously in the team, I would say Bobby Lynn.
Don't mind it. Goalkeeper you always wanted to be, you've probably just answered that in terms of Casillas.
Casillas, aye.
Fair. Best goal you've ever conceded? That's a good question, by the way. I'm having it. Sure, there's been a rocket by and you've just thought, fair enough.
There's been a few. I tell you what was a good one. I tell you what was a very good one, actually. When we played the League Cup against Falkirk, just past that League Cup there, the boy McIver, 35 yards out, absolutely rattled at the top corner. So if you've got to pick one, it'd be something like that.
It's just one of these ones I was just thinking, like, you can't do anything about it, and you think,
I could have had 4 arms, I wouldn't have saved it. No, I've been serious, but you know what I mean? And I could have been in the right position, I still wouldn't have saved it. I'd have flapped it at some, or slats. But honestly, incredible. And then when he does it, you even just go, all right. I know, that was quite good, actually.
Cost a wee bit of debate there. Quite a decent question. I'd leave that stuff to me.
I don't think I've seen McKeever score live. You know, I don't think he scored against Livingston.
So I did score against me.
And finally, pre-match meal.
Pre-match is just eggs and beans. Eggs, beans, 2 slices of toast.
Kind of girl.
And the reason why is like a lot of people ask like chicken and pasta and things like that. See, sometimes I've just not got the time.
Right. Has that been consistent for quite a while now?
Aye, since I've been part time, I would say. See, when I was like full time and that, and you've got like a wee bit more time and things, I had like the red box cheesy pasta. Do you remember that? See now, and I go like that is crazy. Like that is there's no nutrition in that. I'm sorry, but there is no. If anybody has red box pasta for pre-match, stop it.
That's my Wayne's favourite meal.
No, I'm not saying it's not nice. It's actually nice. It's amazing. I loved it. But for a pre-match meal, no.
Wee bit of tomato sauce.
That's what I mean. I actually put barbecue sauce in it randomly.
Oh,
I know, it's quite strange.
Interesting.
And that's the other thing as well. I used to put a little bit more water in, so I had a wee bit of water, and I used to eat it with a spoon.
gosh. We'll move on.
What?
Edit that out. No, please. No, don't edit it out. That was my pre-match.
What about like a cheat meal? Like if you know, what's that you've done again? What's
You're no running the Tuesday.
What's your go-to?
Oh, it's probably just Chinese, to be honest. It's the easiest one to say. We kind of get to the point. I actually do. So see now, my fiance's incredible, and she's that one that she'll make me dinner and all that every single night. And see if it does get to the point. Hey, how you doing? I'm not cooking tonight. I'm like, right, what we having then? Because I'm not.
Where do you want me to stop?
If she's not cooking, then it's a takeaway. Simple as that. But I would go Chinese.
Can't go wrong. Class. Let's get to the good stuff while we're here. Livingston.
Yeah.
How did it come around?
So getting released for Rangers, that was being too small. 14, I think I was. 14 maybe. That maybe like sort of just turned 14 in that season. And Scott Allison, who I can't remember who it was. It was Dave Jacobs is obviously the triplets' dad.
Yeah.
Knew Scott Allison, and it was kind of just that back and forth. But I had the choice to actually go to Motherwell or Livingston, and I never made the choice. Now at the time, you could obviously understand it that it was my mum that would have had to take me to training.
Driving down forward.
So it was either you got to Motherwell or Hamilton, like that way, or you got to Livingston, which is 10 minutes down the road, as we say, we're local boys. So it wasn't even a question. My mum came off the phone, she was like, "You've got Livingston." I was like, "Aye, but mum, like Motherwell might be quite good." "Nah, dickhead, not Livingston, man, that'd be fine." So at a really, really early age, it was just kind of like other people make the decisions for you, but you still need to go in and then do something while you're there.
Apply yourself.
You can't just throw it off because you don't want to be there.
Aye.
So that was basically how it came about. Was my mum says to me, "I'm gone," and that's basically how it started.
I think that happens quite a lot in football at this sort of age. Like there's maybe people who can't travel for whatever reason, maybe their parents don't drive, or they're relying on other people, or whatever that may be.
Of course. I mean, like, listen, you have work commitments and things like that as well. See, like right now for like my work, again, not getting in it, it's mundane, but I've got like appointments and things. So I could randomly be at an appointment at 7 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
That for me, then now I'm thinking my wee man's 2 now, so I've got a few years to get to that.
Yeah.
But I still won't need to take him to training, or I want to take him to training on a Tuesday and a Thursday night and things. And if I'm then having to juggle my work to then obviously get him to training, but I want to be able to do that as well. Do you know what I mean? So then that's people will be like that everywhere.
100%.
And whatever's kind of the easiest to that, you might just be lucky that you stay in Glasgow, so we'll go to Rangers. So, you know what I mean? It might just be that. But again, I was Livingston, so I ended up at Livingston.
Fair. Not against it. Takes a wee while, but first team debut. Can you remember it?
Debut, aye. Quite a lot happened in between there, aye.
Go for it. Give us a wee bit more in between it then.
So, right for the very start of that season, so I was 16 when I went in. Done really well, sort of youth-wise. I was kind of in and out the 19s team at the time. And it's no disrespect to the big man, it was Mark Lynn. It was the other goalie. Kind of got to the point where I feel like, and I think he would probably, he wouldn't have admitted it at the time, but maybe now he would get to the point where he was like, he would have realised that I wasn't just wanting to be a second choice at that point. I was definitely wanting to play.
Yeah.
So I was really trying to apply myself as much as I possibly could.
What was the big man like?
Big Mark.
Aye.
Loved him. Great guy. Honestly, the nicest guy I'll ever meet. his biggest problem, in my opinion, anyway, his biggest problem was it was kind of like him against the world at that point. So like if anybody criticised him, he was just like, oh my God, he's criticising me again. And we would spend a lot of time together, obviously, just training and coaching and things like that. And he would do a lot of the coaching and then just basically coach me. But he would quite a lot of the time, he would like to be able to tell you that, oh, he doesn't like me, or I don't know why I'm not playing here. I feel like I've done really well there and all that. Instead of just being positively like, listen, we've done well in this game or we've done bad in this game, but let's move on.
I think that's just an inner drive to be better, potentially.
I think so. I would agree with that. He definitely always wanted to be better, but sometimes felt like he was criticising himself too much. Yeah. So that's when I would then say, like, try and flip it back onto yourself to say, like, somebody's criticising you, go do better.
Aye.
And that was always kind of my mindset. I've always had that same mindset as well. There's loads of people, even at a young age. The Livi youth coach is probably a good one as well. So just before I went in full time, Paul Connolly's name was, he basically just, I don't know if he just hated goalies or if he just wasn't having me at this point. I don't know what it was, but he wasn't really game for me. Yeah. Basically said I wouldn't be fit enough to go into full-time football, things like that. Spent another year at 17s. And then when I went in full-time, he ended up being the 19s coach as well. He actually came up with me. Raging's me. So I didn't actually get an awful lot of game time because he was there as well. But again, it's how it works. It's just how it works. Big man ends up getting a wee bit of an injury near the end of that season, and I ended up playing in the Youth Cup under 19s against Aberdeen. So we basically on the Friday we'd warmed him up, and we would be like, aye, like big man's playing, like, it'll be a good time. We're doing all the volley things like that. Came to the Sunday, and they named me instead of Big Mark. So like that full warm up, I genuinely never forget it. It was obviously, like I say, it's just big man's criticising himself. Like everybody hates me and all that, but he's lashing boys at me.
Oh wait, he's got a ridiculous thing. Got a ridiculous thing on the.
So we things like that as well. But so I ended up getting in for that game. We lost 3-2 in extra time. We were unlucky. That team was like Chris Maguire, Sonny Luco had played Bayern Munich on the Thursday night. I know, it's incredible.
And then
played Bayern Munich on the Thursday night, the first team, and then they were on the bench for the 19s and played. They ended up playing that game against us because they were obviously a wee bit wary about us because we were decent. So they beat us 3-2. And then near the end of that season, that was because we'd basically dropped down. We'd done the League 2 thing with Voldemort. We're not allowed to name that guy, are we?
Voldemort.
We're not allowed to name that guy.
Name everybody's
name again? Can't mind. But the Italian guy, Missoni, that's the one. Voldemort, we'll call the guy, name him.
The previous owner.
So when certainly get that clip.
Well, I picture of Voldemort next to him.
Try and get Missoni as well. So because we'd went down to League 2, I think it was the Division 3 at the time, whatever it was, League 2. Gary Bowen, and we'd already won the league, so Gary Bowen was in at that point, and he basically says to me, you'll play one of the games near the end of the season. Yeah. So that would have been me at 17. I turned 17 on the February, and then made my debut in the March, April time, whenever that game was. Remember the game really well, and the reason why I remember the game really well was the first time the triplets and Keegan all played at the same time.
Oh, was it that?
And all four of them played at the same time. Yeah. And I was fuming with them after the game. I think I've told you that before, actually. So, played really well in the game, made a few saves, done brilliant. I honestly felt like I'd done really well in the game. Kicking was really good. 2 centre-halves in front of me, both of them were saying to me, you're doing great, keep going, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to call him Voldemort or not, Colin Young. Commentator comes over he comes over the speakers and he's like, man of the matches. And I'm at this point genuinely Darren Jamieson. I swear I'm like, yes, I've 100% got man of the match here. And he goes, the Jacob brothers. I'm standing there all for the last 5 minutes, like, what?
Raging.
What? You sure? You want to go check that game again? Like the 4 of them haven't even touched the ball. Like, I was raging. I was so unhappy with myself. And then I come off after I actually says to him, who picked that? Oh, it's an easy pick. I was like, did I play well in the game? He went, oh, you've done amazing. You were really good. Honestly, you'll be the next Livi goalie. And I was like, well, why did you not pick me?
Still raging out on you.
Still raging now.
He's not with the club anymore, so.
That's true. I've still got him on Facebook. He'll get everything here for this. No. So I vividly remember it. It was really good. I still seen the highlights and things like that as well. Stupid wee things. Say, like you would just wear your shorts as well. I had 3/4 length trousers on. Why? Don't know. But the biggest thing for me, well, so 3/4 length trousers, the socks,
the
right
socks
up
are the
the knees, you couldn't see, and the big like my logo now,
Yeah.
big massive logo on the 3/4 length trousers where you could not miss it, could not miss it. And I look back now and I'm like, what on earth was I doing?
Annoying.
Like, why have I done that?
What boots did you have on?
Couldn't tell you.
I remember.
Preds probably, because I always wear Predators.
Kind of
Still wear them now.
good answer on Mark one. He's my brother-in-law's brother.
Oh, is he?
Great guy.
Always liked him. Always got time for him.
He's a good lad. He actually spoke to him last night, telling him you were kind of coming on and stuff like that. Get any of these stories or anything else. Firstly, says he got daft as a brush, which has proved to be the case so far. Bang on.
Never saw that. Yeah.
But he spoke about a young lad, couldn't remember his name. Came in a different car every single day, even though he was only 16. Holdalls full of Y3s, Ralph Lauren trainers. It's where Hasty got his jumper, I think, to be fair. It's got a few bobbles on it. But
We were going to throw that in, but you've done it. You've flipped off. It's just went straight out.
I just went for it. But do you remember wee things like that?
I do remember it all. I mean, listen, it's probably one of the things that a wee bit we'll kid on it never happened. But again, at the same time, there's cameras everywhere, so it did happen. Now, listen, it was just back in the day. It was a guy, a man with a van. That's what we called him. Literally, that's what we called him. And he used to open the back of the van. And it was just shoes, jeans, G-Star instead of G-Star, like things like that. It was just, but yeah, like you say, Y4s instead of Y3s, like just so many different things, and you just negotiate the price. Whether you were like, oh, how much are the trainers tonight, mate? £15, like right in. You had good sales in because it's £15. It's 25 last night. You know what I mean? You're at it. But I know. Listen, you're spending like £15. See, at the time, I think we were.
What were your wages at that time exactly?
We were on £65 a week at that time. You £208 a month. So see the £80, it was like we'll put that in the trainers and the gear, and we'll just bring that in with us, and we'll make sure that you look great. Even though like everybody's obviously left it because Club Earth. I used to wear my Y3s all the time. I left a pair of Y3s in Club Earth once.
I found them.
Just all use with the same trainers.
You'd give me £7.
You'll find them on Vinted.
I know. It was
Things like that quite common though, were they? Quite.
Nah, they were in Polbeth. They were when I brought them. They were in Polbeth when I grew up. I know, it's just a thing, but and then it was like kind of tiniest wee scuff on it like that, and you just straight on the phone mat the van. I need a pair of them. But actually, I had a different pair every time because you were so cheap for them as well. Like, see if they were cheap now, like, you would buy a pair every week. Wouldn't you? So
That's it. I remember trying to get real ones at like 150 quid and stuff like that.
Yeah, no chance. Take me 3.5.
Wouldn't you see me paying that much for clothes?
Right, what? Took a while before your next kind of senior appearance after your debut. I think we touched on it earlier in terms of that mentality of being a goalkeeper and waiting about all the time and stuff. Do you get frustrated at that sort of period that you've got a taste for it? Never got man of the match, but they're done all right.
Done all right, aye. Solid 7 out of 10.
So then having to wait kind of 12 months until the next one comes.
Again, you're 100% right. So I'm kind of at that point, like, I've now played first team. I kind of proved myself. I want to be able to go. And when I thought about it at the time, it was like, right, well, we've played League 2 and I've done well in that, so can I go back to League 2 and play there while we were in League 1? But it doesn't work out quite like that because I'm second choice. You know what I mean? I've had a lot of time where I've been second choice and third choice, but I've also had people that are now second choice, third choice. So I totally understand what they're going through at the same time as me. But frustrating, aye. At that point, you just kind of get your head down and just try your best to get better.
Who was playing at that time? Who was number one at that time?
It would have been Andy McNeil.
Right.
Aye.
You got a good relationship with him and stuff.
Is
he giving you that advice that you're giving to keepers now, for example? Like,
I think so. Yeah, I think so. Like, he was very good because he was the utmost professional when it came to training and things like that as well. Tuesday and Thursdays, so we would have the Wednesday off most weeks. Tuesdays double sessions. If the first team on the double sessions, me and Andy were definitely double sessions. He always wanted to do kicking, and his reason behind it, at the time, he would say to me, "You're really good at kicking, so I'd like to emulate what you do." I feel like that was just a ploy just to get me to go and do the double session because everybody else is away home.
Aye.
But it's still a good way to manage me at a young age, do you know what I mean? To say, oh, you're brilliant at kicking, can you come and show me how you do this?
Trying to play towards the ego a little bit.
It does, isn't it?
First team boy just said that was clear.
100%, So I'm like, no problem when we gone out at 2 o'clock. I'm like, oh my God, it's like 11:15. Like, what we got to do for 3 hours? But I would just go home and then come back. You know what I mean? It was completely fine. I was only 10 minutes up the road.
Yeah.
Loved it. 2 mannequins. He literally used to just pass it, ping it, pass it, ping it. And it was just wee things like that. We'd done that the full year as well. Probably made my kicking better. I would say it made Tow's kicking better. I don't know if he would agree with that because he never used to like that he's kicking. He used to always say he could get better at it all the time. But again, similar to Big Mark, actually, great guy. Let's throw that one on again. But Andy always wanted to
We don't need to clip the other bit.
No, he always wanted to get better. Always wanted to get better. So he was really good that way as well.
What, completely lost where I'm on that sheet. Apologies. Really cut that bit, Spud. No. It's yes. The penalty record is a bit I've got down next. Hasty, you've probably got more memories than I do.
I do.
Cover that bit.
It kind of made you the kind of cult hero that you are at Livingston. Was
that a European record or something at one point that you saved the most?
I think in a season, something like
for all those sort of ones.
I'd googled it. Sorry to interrupt you, but I'd googled it and it was like the Ipswich goalie had saved 5 penalties out of 8 or something like that in a season, and mine was 5 out of 7.
That's right. Yeah.
So
I just remember any time we conceded a penalty, just in that season, well, we're fine. We've got DJing goals, right? And I think it's fine, and it just always was like it was incredible.
Did you feel that? Did you save the first one? You think a wee chance here?
do you know what? The first one was at Dundee. So we ended up beating Dundee 2-1.
You still remember them all?
Aye-ish.
I mean, I'm struggling, but
I probably could if I was to really think about it. But Dundee was definitely the first one. The reason I know that was Peter McDonald, Pizzo. And he's smashed it. And I've dived and I've actually no caught the ball. It hit me in the face. But it then hits me in the face and then I've kind of like clambered to get the ball. There's a picture. My hand's like that, and instead of my head being there, it's just the ball, and you just know that it's just ready to be clattered. I bet
just a Rangers goalie coach raging. No,
that's it. Right, a coach putting that out. Oh, probably. Uses that side existence.
Exactly. It'd be the picture you would use, not today. Aye. So that hit me, and then I remember as well. So we had the white kit. It was a white kit with red shorts, but the red shorts were too small. So I had an extra large top.
You had like 3/4 length.
Massive. No, I didn't even have them on that. So I mean, black shorts, black socks. So I ended up having black shorts, a white top with red trim all around it. Looked absolutely terrible in the pictures, and I had yellow boots on as well for just to make it slightly better. But I just make everything, and I've dived, I've caught the ball, I've ran to the edge of the box, like wanting to get rid of the ball. I'm so I couldn't celebrate. Everybody else from the movie's like, calm down, we're running. I'm like, oh, right.
That's still back on top of it.
You see me going like that, as if I'm like, know what I'm doing, but I'm inside. But oh my God,
Did you do a lot? Like, I know goalkeepers nowadays do a lot of prep on who they're coming up against, who the penalty takers are going to be. Was that very similar for you? Like, obviously, I think 5 out of 7 saves is an incredible record. So, was there something there, or was it just was it luck of the draw? Was it a lottery?
I wouldn't say lottery as such, but it's probably good judgment for me. So, obviously, as I said before, I can reiterate it as well. 8 out of 8 penalties for Murieston. I know how to take penalties. So then, at that point, what I would actually do is, I would look at the way that they were standing.
Danny's totally clarified that by you.
No, we've all clarified.
He's just left him on red.
No comment. The way that they used to do things, so I used to just look at it and say, if I was in his position, what way would I go at this point? And sometimes if they're standing straight in the middle even as well, like, I feel like I would do the Salah one.
Yeah, they kind of
curving round the ball and things like that as well. Do I feel like I would go left or right here? Yeah. And it's really the only way that I can really explain as to how I used to do it, because that's literally how I used to think. We went into the Petrofac Cup. We obviously, like I've saved the winning penalty and that, but they've scored the 5 before.
Yeah.
The reason I've actually saved that one is I've said to myself, right, the 5 that I've done before now, I'm trying to anticipate where they're going, and I've got wrong every time.
Yeah.
So the next guy that steps up, look what way he's going to go, or predict what way he's going to go, and do complete
the other way.
And that's what I've done. I saved it.
So it's a lot, eh?
So that one was a lot. So I suppose you can say that. But the other 5 in that season as well. And obviously there's a couple like the season before and things like that as well, which is probably why it's not just the 5, it's been like over 4 or 5 seasons where everybody's realised that I've saved quite a lot of penalties as well. So
Do you know what your full record is?
no, I couldn't tell you. See, there was one, so the transfermarket.com or something it's called. Know that you should be looking at your stats and things like that, but anyway, I have done before.
Every night before bed.
She's away up to bed, the pedal in bed. You can't watch La Liga anymore, so you just speak your know what it was.
See, when the SPFL put the thing up a few seasons ago when I was at Steny, the League 2 season we won the league, it was the 19 clean sheets and it was like, who's got the most clean sheets? Well, Butland was ahead at one point, but I'd still had a couple of games to play, things like that. I was genuinely checking up that. I'll be honest, actually, I was, and I wanted to be the best at that. And when I got to 19, believe it or not, 19 is my favourite number. So we played, we did. We played Bonnyrigg Rose in a game, and we were 1-0 up in the game, and I'm not saying I threw it in, by the way, that's not what I'm going to say, Gil.
He's looking at me like saying, he's going to throw that in.
Well, we're about 85th minute, and at that point I'm thinking 20's a nice round number, like it's alright, it's totally fine, and then they've whipped one down, put it out in the box, they've played it kind of went underneath me, and ended up in the net, the game finished 1-1, and for the last 5 minutes I'm thinking, aye, but 19 is my favourite. Anyway, going back to the story, that's a tangent again, Dave. I keep doing that.
Laudable.
So going back to the penalties, in that season I actually checked the penalties, saves and things like that as well, and my percentage was sitting at like 48% for penalties or something.
Incredible.
So I had like 25 penalties in my my career or something like that, and I saved like 13, I think. So it would have been 12 and a half, but 13 at that point. I mean, I'm just like, I'll take that. I'll definitely take that. So I have looked at it before, but I wouldn't say that I keep counting now.
So maybe you should have. You're coming on, sell yourself.
Probably should have done that.
I think
For when you're going to coach Murray. Listen, I've saved
the man, scored them.
that was probably my job. That's literally the reason I'm here.
He's typed this up, by the way. I'm useless.
That's literally the reason I'm here. Obviously, very, very good penalty record. Not so good record against long strikes from goalkeepers, though.
Well, it's one out of quite a lot, to be fair. So that's how we're going to that. It's only one. The percentage is low.
It's low.
What
I
happened?
can't.
What was going through
Tell
you?
me your feelings.
I'm a heavy, so just nah.
Chunks one. You
said that at the time.
I did. I tell you.
It's obviously quite a lonely moment. It's quite embarrassing, I'd imagine, being the pitch,
Do you know what?
big stadium, everything else that comes with it.
It wasn't even just at the moment in time. It was for years after it.
You know it's not going away.
Years after it. I mean, do you know what was at the point? Like my favourite programme at that point was Sky Sports News. Right, Sky Sports News played it for weeks. By the way, like I was in the goal of the contender for goal of the month and things like that as well. And you're like, come on,
The SPFL still get it out like every so often. Like it comes up on their socials, and you're
and
like,
I get tagged in it 400 times. One you.
not just once. TD's in this way.
It's
How many Bonnyrigg FC
going back to it, at the actual moment in time, it was probably just one of them where you think it's too easy. He's always, do you know what? He done it here as well, actually, at the stadium as well. And it was after it, so it was the second time we played them. And I'm standing on the actual line, genuinely.
You're standing in the net at this point.
Oh, I was like a vampire. I wasn't coming off a line, like I wasn't coming for a cross. I wasn't doing nothing at that point. I was standing waiting on him kicking it, and he launched it again and kicked it, and I've just went. At that point, I'm playing up to everybody at the fans, and like, well done, mate, clap, and all that. And see inside my head, I'm like, oh, I hate this guy. Because that's twice he's now tried that, and because he's done it once, he's trying it again. But
You get sarcastic shout for the crowds and stuff like that as the ball's approaching you and everything.
you can hear it, but not even that. He's kick every single time he kicks the ball. It's like,
yeah.
and I'm like, but even at that point, it's a good thing for me, resilience-wise. Like you said earlier, I think that's the best thing that could have ever happened to me when it comes to resilience. Because see now, if I make a mistake, I'm like,
Wasn't
a goalie scored. That was nothing.
Yeah, it's true. But it was a fluke. Let's call it what it was. It was a fluke. He's caught you off guard because it bounced over you, didn't it? It wasn't even.
Three different things happened at this point. So he's launched it up in the air. The first thing I thought was it's an AstroTurf. It wasn't. It was grass. But I'm thinking AstroTurf. It skid through it in the air. Can't be no problem. First time it went grass. First mistake.
like 15 foot bounce.
Second mistake after that is Dicey's then went to go and header it. Calford Dicey's went to go and header the ball. I've shouted keepers, thinking, don't worry, guys. I've got this, aye. Never that. I've got this. Oh, no, I'm not going that one. Third one on that point as well is I've then not even really tried to readjust my position at any point in that.
Just kind of watched it.
So I'm standing on the penalty spot just going, keepers, don't worry, it's coming. It's just going, as if it's just going to bounce onto my hands, and it doesn't even bounce the ball. And when it does then bounce, it bounces but off the grass. The grass is solid. It's like one of the first games of the season. And it bounces and just goes, poof. Way back up there again. I just looked and went, oh no.
What is your immediate thoughts when you see that bounce and you think, well, I'm in trouble here?
Run, because I need to run that way. Aye, see, there's actually a picture in the paper as well. My wee brother will find it for you if you really want it.
You don't even wear the paper, does he?
Your screen to a big clue. What's this? He loves mentioning it, and the reason I know that is because he mentioned it the other day. It's me just standing like that. I was just like, oh, and the ball's not even in the net yet, and my reaction is just like, oh my god. But for the full game, you say you're concentrating, you're not concentrating. That was the 17th minute of that game, by the way.
Yeah, it was. There was early on,
and it is one of the ones you're like, I'm supposed to be. I was fine for the rest of that game, and see when I say I was fine, I know I was fine, right? Chase Talbot threw one into the centre mid. The centre mids gave him it back, but on the bounce, and he's volleyed one at me, and I'm not joking you, like to probably run about my sort of chest height, and I've literally just took it down on my thigh, and the ball's dropped dead, and I've played it out to the right back, and we've not thought anything else yet.
Yeah.
See, at that point, the crowd has all gone mental. Oh,
let's just come back to you.
It comes. Aye. I've just went both like that and just play. And at that point, I think to myself, like, nah, you're fine. You're actually all right.
Yeah. Just
play the game. Played fine in the game. I can also remember that. I totally understand on it. I genuinely did play fine in the game. Game ended 2-1. Or if it was the 1-0 one, I can't remember.
I'm sure it was 1-0. I might be wrong.
I remember Ellie Gooey scoring a header at Easter Road, and it was at that end as well. That's what makes me think that. But if it was the 1-0 game anyway, we've done fine in the game. Do you know what I mean? Apart from the fact of this freak goal.
Yeah.
It's afterwards, but so on the drive home, I phoned my mum. Mum's like, how was the game? Blah blah blah. She does it every so often as well. She doesn't care about football as much, but when I'm playing, she
cares about you.
Cares, aye. How was the game? And I was like, I played fine, but the goalie scored. And as soon as that happened, I could feel myself just like tearing up.
Right, kind of.
And I just bawled my eyes out.
When you actually realise
I was just like, I can't believe it just happened. And these are the wee bits that like makes you human, I think, as well. Like, behind it all, like
100%.
I lay in my bed for a good hour, just crying,
and
I can remember just lying there, just like, I can't believe I've just done that. Like, I'll never play football ever again.
Yeah.
My absolute laughing stock. Like, do you know what I mean? And I'm still at that stage, 24, 25, whatever I am at that stage in my life, my career, things like that. All my pals have all got to see that as well. Blah blah blah. Yeah. Not just that. Like I said, Sky Sports News had it on for 3 weeks, so the whole of the UK's seen it.
Exactly.
I couldn't get away from it, basically. At that point, I'm genuinely watching, I think I was watching Cartoon Network just to keep away from it. Do you know what I mean? I'm not joking. Dexter's Laboratory is my new favourite film. My new favourite TV.
Mike's that, Tom and Jerry.
Tom and Jerry. SpongeBob SquarePants. You know, he's like that. I'm just like,
Tom Fire sponsor. You lose it.
So once he's a cat, I mean,
no, even a football at that point was just like, oh no, here it comes again. I would probably still do, it gives me PTSD at this point still. I will be honest, it does. See, every time I see that coming up, I'm like, defender better won this. And at that point, I have never shouted goalkeeper, like keepers, my ball, anything like that, ever again.
Yeah.
I'll let it bounce, and then see if it bounces, and then they're shouting or they're panicking, then I'll come and do something with it. But until then, I'll let that's bouncing and end of.
What's the dressing room like at that sort of time? See, obviously that happened first half, you're going at half time. Do you think all the eyes are on you, like, or the boys the opposite? Are they all right?
To say anything?
No, I wouldn't say anything.
I don't think you can say anything. Even as a gaffer, you're probably not. You're just like,
the gaffer was John McGlynn, and is probably as good as he could be. Like, forget about it. It's done.
Yeah.
You need to go and play a second half now.
Yeah.
And then I did get pulled at the time as well. A few of the boys that were on the bench and that, and they're like, do you think you could play the second half, basically?
Yeah.
And at that point, I want to be able to say to every single one of them, absolutely, I am completely fine. I will be, it's completely done. At half time, standing in the toilet, locking the door, basically, thinking, I'm not going back out there. Do you know what I mean? If it's like, and these are the tiny wee bits of that you probably didn't see in the back room when you're sitting in the changing room, everybody's outside laughing and all that. You actually then it plays with my head at this point, and I'm like, oh God,
Are they laughing at me?
and what makes it worse is it is the team I support as well. I've been a Hibby since I was 8 years old. Every time I go back to Easter Road, and it's funny now. I get come on. Completely over it, and see if I didn't find it funny, I would probably cry. So I would rather just laugh.
But it's good, genuinely, as you say, is with that kind of mental and the resilience, like that could have ruined your career.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Could have been done.
Like, but you have to admire the fact that you had your downtime, you had your moment, cry if you like.
Yeah,
watch Dexter's laboratory as much as you could.
Dexter's what?
Early ball.
Should I say SpongeBob SquarePants? Did you say?
Tom and Jerry.
You watch the Powerpuff Girls. I genuinely think it's incredible, that kind of resilience to go back out the next week, because or if I remember correctly, that season you had Hibs, Hearts, Rangers.
It was Hearts the next week.
It was such a difficult league, like that you so easily could have crumbled, and you didn't, and you got to take a lot.
I remember
that, mate.
I remember on the bus going to the Hearts games, Burton O'Brien that was sitting behind me, like absolute legend, that guy. Yeah, loved him a bit. Unbelievable player as well. And I remember him tapping him on the shoulder and just being like, "Look, Deej, like, I know what happened last week. We didn't want to kind of talk about it like that, but I'm just letting you know that this is a grass pitch. It will be solid and it'll bounce just as high as well." Yeah. And at that point, I just went, "Oh." Do you know what I mean? That's it. You shouldn't have told me.
I just didn't mention him.
But then we've went out. I think we got beat 5-0. Should we go beat 5?
It was a 4.
We got a scud. I was unbelievable in the game. Why? No, I kind of conceded 4 in the first half, but I was really, really good in that game. Yeah. Came in after the game, and John McGunn's, again, this is why I feel like he's one of the best. He's best manager for me anyway. Comes in after the game and he's shouting at everybody else. Everybody else is the worst players in the world at this point. And he turns and says to me, if it wasn't for him in that goal, you would have got beat by 10. And at that point, I just went, you just go, oh, there's that. You know what I mean? Absolutely. Right then, love Leaks again. Do you know what I mean? I was like, right, okay. So, for being the worst to being then, well, maybe got beat, so you can't say it was the best, but I still went back to being a high moment for me in my career. I was like, yeah, I've made it. I'm back. I'm the man. That happened, but we'll now prove for the rest of the season that I'm going to be one of the better players. So, aye.
Good. Leaving the club is the next kind of bit. Did you go to Bo'ness on loan?
Bo'ness on loan was a funny one as well.
How's that come about? So you're playing Premier League football to go to Bo'ness?
So Liam Kelly had came in. Is that the season? League One, Liam Kelly had came in. And basically it just got to the point where I think I was just out of favour. I think as well, so I would be able to admit it now, being a wee bit older, that back then I'm the main man. I've got this ego, like I says to you. I probably still do have a wee bit of that kind of confidence about me right now, but I'm more humble now than I would have been back then. Yeah. We played Inverness in the Cup on a Tuesday night. We got the Wednesday off. We came back in on the Thursday. I had a dead leg, but I could have trained. I says to Mark Butchell, I can't train today, I've got a dead leg. Yeah. By the Friday morning, Mark McCallum's in the building, and I'd never played another game for Livingston. And I always look back at myself now and say on that Thursday, suck it up.
Just do it.
You know what I mean?
Aye.
Just get on with it. Aye. Like, I didn't even make the mistake. Do you know what actually happened was, so Morgan Neal tries to head the ball back to me, and the boy Story came in his first name, Miles Story, striker. Nips in, flicks it over my head, then runs up, gets the ball, and then just basically taps it in as it comes down. He actually, his first touch was rubbish. He went to there, he's rolled, put over the ball, and then tapped it in that much time. Anyway, that all then all comes back to me as I should have smashed him, I should have been out there, I should have maybe got a red card for it, it's only the League Cup, blah, blah, blah. After the game, didn't agree with any. And because I didn't agree with any, I've now sat on that Wednesday, and then on Thursday went, did like, might play Saturday, might no. Yeah, we'll see. And then Friday morning, Dundee United have loaned a goalie to us on an emergency loan. And I was like, oh, damn it. Yeah. And again, like I says, my ego at that point, I'm like, I think I'm the best player in the world, and I've just quite clearly shown that the manager's going to just bring somebody else in. You're only a number at this point. And again, it sounds harsh, but it is true. You know what I mean?
That's the thing, it's like, his livelihood and stuff, it's his job, it's his...
Of course.
Comes out
and again, like, I've seen it so many times over, like, you're arguing with the manager and things like that. Like, he's the one picking the team, he's the one making all the decisions, and he's the one that decides if you get a contract or not, or if you go again. So why are you arguing with him?
Aye.
And at that point, I'm like, I'm better than the manager. No, it's not got to happen like that. And that's me now realising it or saying it now at that point. And like Davy Martindale's in at this by this time as well. So even at that, like, he probably still would see that in me for what I was like back then.
Yeah.
Whereas now, if he was to see it now, looking and saying that your character's changed a wee bit, you're better than what you were back then. But so we silly wee things like that. That's the reason why I end up no playing. When Liam Kelly then comes in, I went to Hoppy at the time, and I just basically says to him, like, I would like to go out and play.
Yeah.
And when he comes back to me, it's David Martindale that obviously organised it. It says Bonus United, and I'm like, no, you're all right, mate. That's not what I meant.
Aye, like,
When I said to like go play,
don't have to be drum 4 levels.
aye. And it's no disrespect to them because, by the way, they set up in there and they were looked after me. They were amazing.
Yeah.
Genuinely, one of the best that I've ever seen, like junior-wise, now Lowland League and things like that, blah, blah, blah. But amazing. And it's no fault about them. It's just my ego at this point saying, they really want to go to Bonus. Anyway, ends up in Bonus. Speaks to the manager at the time, McGonigal. Alan McGonigal's name was. He's on the board at Hamilton.
Yeah.
What he says to me was, you're out of favour at Livingston, come and play for me and we'll see where it goes.
It's a perfect link, DJ.
But that's exactly how it all happened.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was Alan McGonigal that then gets me out at Hamilton because of this point. So I played at Bonus for 4 weeks. I got man of the match in 4 games. By the way, you got a bottle of vodka every time you got man of the match. No, a bottle of vodka. Still got them.
Sponsored the league, wasn't it?
It was amazing. Anyway, I cannot as a bit. Drink responsibly, please.
Is that what you had to add that you've still got them now? I've still got them.
Have you seen DJ over that 4-week period?
Open. No, joking. I know. So anyway, the man of the match thing like that just came down to me trying to prove myself. At the same time, done really well when I was there. I think the 2 goalies at Hamilton got injured. I think they clashed in each other or something. They tucked themselves, so they'd run out of goalies basically. They were clambering to get a goalie in. At that point, it was David that then phones me and says, look, we can just release you. No papers, no money, no nothing. Just release you and you go to Hamilton. And I was just like, I'm not playing. I'm at Bonus. I didn't want to be at Bonus for like a really long time, if that makes sense. Like, I want to try and get up that way. And then when Hamilton comes in, they're in the Premier League at the time. I'm like, well, it's a no-brainer, isn't it?
Is that sort of fear of just being down there and getting stuck?
I think so. I think so. I'm not sure what I would even be thinking about back then. But as I say, it's like your ego and things like that. You want to be playing at the highest level.
Absolutely.
When Hamilton comes in, they then obviously offer me my wage. So I go personal terms and things like that and go, and they actually doubled my wage straight away. So I'm like, this is an absolute no-brainer. Why am I not considering this?
Think of the shoes you could buy.
Exactly.
All right, well, sorry, all Hamilton fans are new and almost don't have a club. DJ absolutely rinsed
it. No, to be fair, I will throw it out there. I never rinsed them. And we'll go on to it a wee bit further, but I did get a lace drive randomly during that season as well. I never rinsed them, wasn't me?
It was after the 10th penalty save.
Aye, for the under 23s. Anyway, no, so what basically happened was I got released for Livingston on the last day. When I came in and spoke to Hoppy and David Martindale at the time, they says to me, like, when you've went to Bonus, like, you've changed.
Yeah.
I was in the gym every single day. I didn't care if my muscles were sore or that, playing football at any match. You know, see, sometimes you've got a wee bit like that. You're like, on a Friday, I didn't want to do too much because I want to be fit for the Saturday. I want to be ready for the Saturday. At that point, I was like, I didn't care. So I had wee Chev in the gym Monday to Friday. Absolutely hammered me every single day. It was the best thing for me because I came out ripped at that point. I was like, that's the fittest I've ever been. Davy Martindale actually says to me, Liam Kelly was going back in January, and we were planning on playing you as long as you're doing what you were doing right now.
Yeah.
And I was like, that gives me confidence as well. But Hamilton have just doubled my wage, so see you later.
Hey, cheerio.
Do you want to double my wage? Not right. Well, where's that paper I signed it on my way? That was good decision. Was it a good decision? I don't know. Still don't know if it's a good decision now, if I'm being honest.
Who was your coach when you were in at Hamilton?
Martin Cannon was
Martin Cannon.
So he's assistant manager for Alex Neil now, isn't he?
Yeah.
So he's done well for himself. No, listen, brand new. Goalie coach was Brian Potter.
Was it Potsy?
Came in here as well. Really good setup again. You train at Hamilton. It was only half enough for me when I'm in Livingston as well. Everything was great. Loads of perks for being in the Premier League and things like that as well. As she says about cars and things like that. Loved the car. I got a car on the whatever they deal with, the lease deal and all that nonsense that you get because you're a Premier League player. You get any car for £150 a month. No problem. Had the driving the
Saucer.
no Volkswagen Scirocco GTI
2.5. No, this thing was honestly incredible.
How was that?
a bluey colour. Oh, loved it.
Beautiful.
Loved it.
Good
Rapid as well.
Good lashing.
Oh, it was like the automatic as well, and it wee silly things like you could flick it into the sport. Just flick it.
Oh, stupid. Only up to 70 miles an hour, of course.
Drive responsibly.
Yeah, you wouldn't
Close.
go in it.
Wouldn't do it, no.
There was no vodka involved at that point.
Vodka's down the back seat. Was it just rolling about?
Aye, no, but anyway. Absolute mission.
Loved it. And at that point as well, everything outside of football was incredible for me.
Yeah.
I just got myself a wee flat. I'd moved in with my missus at the time, like everything like that. Everything was just going so well. And then at that point, I was like, this might get better. Don't know if it did because I didn't really play. So obviously, I had two games I played. Well, one game and then like a last 15 minutes of a game because the goalie got injured at the time. But other than that, like played in the 23s quite a lot. I was 25, 26, so I was classes overage, but still played loads for them. Played for some really good players that were on that team as well. Wee boy Lewis Figs when it was at Bologna, you know.
Very good. Yeah,
What a player. Even back then, he was really good as well. But did get better as obviously it just to the point that he's at now. He's no bad. Should have won the league. We played Celtic the last game, and Celtic knew that if we'd have beat them, and it's a surreal sort of to even try and explain it to you. Celtic came and sat in against a Hamilton under 23s team. Like, I wouldn't be able to. I wish I could have like footage it to actually show you it. Like, they sat in a 4-5-1. They didn't move for that position. They didn't move for that at all. They never had a shot on target the whole game. I hardly touched the ball, and it finished 0-0. And they celebrated like they'd won the league.
But Hamilton's youth system back then was I think even now it's quite good. Well, not now. Sorry, apologies.
What just carried it?
Yeah, but like they were playing Champions League like every season.
Aye, their youth league was on.
You were like, this is incredible.
Aye, so they were still. And again, there's loads of players after me as well. But at that point, we were kind of I say we, like I'm supposed to be part of it. I came in, I was the third choice at the time, so it was chop and change between me and Robbie Thompson. Robbie Thompson then got released because he wanted to play more first team. That was the January he gets released, so I've then continued to play. Losing the league on the last day of the season, it's like a wee bit at that point, like, I want a wee bit more of this. Right. I had a wee kind of taste when I was at Livi. I played a couple of games.
Who's the number one at Hamilton?
So Remy Matthews is at Crystal Palace now. Yeah. Very good goalie. And Gary Woods, who I think is a goalie coach at Morton, or he was the goalie coach.
I think he was down there anyway.
He's been released. I'm not sure. I can't remember. He was there anyway. I don't know if he's still playing or whatever, but the two of them, they were absolutely brilliant with me as well. Really good. And that was the kind of first taste of your free gloves, your getting perks, your lunch times and things like that as well. Like, again, no disrespect to like Livingston at the time, but I'm sure it was like Lee Lauder's dad used to come in and make us pasta. And it was like pasta and poured tomato sauce on top.
Was it cheesy pasta, a wee bit of water in a spoon?
With barbecue sauce. I had a lot of it left. No, it wasn't. Tomato pasta, and it was a wee bit dry, and it was a wee bit like. And then you go to Hamilton, they've got set chefs, and they've got things there, and it's like the chefs would come in and speak to you and liaise and all that, and it's like, what do you want this week?
Yeah.
What did you like last week? What can we try that's new? Like, do you want the fish on the menu? Do you want this? Do you want this? Do you want this? Unbelievable. And they had a different sort of setup as well, because they were Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday off, back in the Friday to do next to nothing.
Yeah.
So your Monday was your kind of recovery day. Tuesday, Wednesday was just like solid. So you were double session Tuesday, double session Wednesday. Yeah. You have your relaxation on your Thursday, do whatever you need to, and then come in the Friday and you just
get ready for the Friday or whatever.
It wasn't even really shaped, to be honest. Used to do a cautionary finishing drill. Never used to play them in games, Never used to play games. I frustrated everybody, I think, because you always just want that wee sweat on at the end. It's just a wee bit sharpness just to ping a ball on a goal. And for the goalies, you're no stopping either.
You want to take it
constantly on your toes, you're constantly moving about and things like that. But with the players and that we had in the team as well at the time, I feel like they should have probably done better than what they did.
Yeah.
But the seasons that I was there, we always survived in the Premier League. So I've got that in my CV as a wee thing as well. Like a couple of times in the playoffs, with Dundee United was the one. That was a big one. Greg Dockett ended up scoring. So Greg Dockett's away down south now as well. He's been playing really well. Obviously got his move to Rangers.
Something like that.
I think he's at
Was he?
Charlton now, I want to say.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right.
Charlotte.
No, it is.
But he was like the utmost professional. He ended up scoring the winning goal in that playoff, and see like that as well, like leading on to the night time and things like that as well. Or that summer and everything that we'd done in that summer as well, like amazing. And it's like probably my first wee bit of a wee taster of like what it would be like if you were in a winning team, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And then I got released. Great.
Perfect.
But I mean, I see when I went and spoke to the manager, it's like this. It was a setting like this. Nobody likes and things like that, but just a setting
Just
like
Mike's in there.
just me and you sitting here, right? And he just says to me, "I know you want to go and play football. Go and play football." And it's like, "Well, you got off from me, Sam." I was like, "Nah, we've got just go and play football. And you want to go and play, so just play." And at that point, I was like, "Aye, fair enough." 26.
Yeah.
I probably need to go and start playing football at some point in my life. I mean, I've got 100 games for Livingston, I've got 2 games for Hamilton. I'm like, I'm never 102, but I want that to be 202.
202.
And I'm not going to get it here.
No, absolutely.
And then the next season they get relegated, and I probably would have got it there, but again,
It's a big risk.
exactly. As
You look at the moves that you went on to make there with Arbroath and
crazy, really.
incredible.
My CV since I've been part-time has been unbelievable.
It's been very good.
Very good.
2 years up in Angus with Arbroath, obviously, after that.
Aye.
I'm going to go, how were Dick Campbell and Ian Campbell? We're going to go there first.
What, just one word, or do you want me like
Give me
give us
a word initially, so that
flabbergasting?
flabbergasted.
Good
Yours,
that's the original. That was an actual word.
That's how your Dexter's work.
Mental. Nuts. Mental.
You see stories of them fighting each other in the dressing rooms and stuff like that. Is that? Give us a few stories here.
A few stories that I could give you. So the two best stories that I've ever tried to liaise or try to give out to people as well. So very first game, Montrose, Angus Derby. So that first season when we played that, so a wee bit of kind of background to it as well. So I met him in the Dobbies in Dunfermline for like a chat, basically, right? Now, see, when I talk about me having an ego, wow. So this guy's like, we'd have won the league last year if I had a decent goalie. I'm not going to name the goalies. You could probably look at it if you want. I'm not going to name
find it.
Aye, that's fine. You can name it. You could probably go and check who the goalies are, but I'm not going to name them. So anyway, he says to me, we had a good goal last year, I'd have won the league. And I'm like, he's finished 4th, just. No, in fact, the first year they finished 5th, sorry, outside the playoffs. Yeah. He's finished 5th, like, no, you wouldn't. But he's then said to me, like, what's your tricks? What are you good at? And I went, like, love taking a cross, love kicking a ball. I don't know why, at this point, I just love shelling a ball really, really far as possible, as far as I can. I still do it now, by the way. But at that point, I just, for Hamilton, they just loved putting the ball down and just shelling it away. Yeah. So I got good at it and I got better at it. Rather than it being technique about playing and things like that when I was at Livi, we just used to launch it. So he loved that as well. Good at crosses, good at kicking the ball, and on the odd occasion, I just like to go absolutely mental. Now, I don't know why I said that, but it was like, what does that even mean, son? And he's me trying to explain myself. Oh, my communication's good. And like, I like just having a wee nip at people and stuff like that. And he's like, right, that'll do me. And then just got up and walked away. And I was just like, I'm sitting with, I've still had a coffee.
You get fighting with the dog.
I was going to say, did you have...
I'm a dirty guy. He paid for it at that point, to be fair. I was sitting with my coffee and Dobby's just like, what has just happened there? What did I do now? Like, did I just get up and go? What's going on here? So anyway, at that point, I then phoned my agent and I says to him, I says, listen, part-time football will be fine, but I would like to be full-time. And my agent basically just says to me, like, you've not got anything else. You've got nothing else. So don't even consider full-time football because it's not happening for you. Go and play part-time football, see how you think it is, get yourself a job and just deal with it, basically. Which was like, aye, fair enough. Can't really argue with it. So when you go to part-time football, he actually has got an agency business as well.
That's right.
And he got me straight in as well. So again, got on really, really well with him. Everything that they kind of wanted me to do on the pitch and things like that was like my strengths. Right. So I'm like, I'm going to fit in well here.
Because it's Ian that runs a kind of agency, isn't it? And Dick stuff.
That's what they say. So basically, Dick will admit that to you as well. He says that. He says, during the day, I might not be the boss, but when it comes to the football, I'm the boss. And you're like, aye, fair enough. You can't argue with him, man. Like, I would never want to argue with him anyway. Two different stories for that anyway. So Montrose away, Angus Derby, the first game. Gaffer's like, I'm hungover, I was out last night. So straight away I'm like, what? But even at this point, like, There's a few boys that have been on holiday throughout pre-season and things like that. That never happens at full-time football. You can't go on holiday during the season.
No.
Like, end of.
Yeah.
No way. We go part-time football and it's like, aye, but some of them are teachers, for example, so they get off in July and they need to go on their holidays in the July, so they miss pre-season. So there's boys missing pre-season and that, and I'm like, this is mental for me. I'd never obviously been in this environment, so I didn't know. Then get on to match day 1. Gaffer's like hungover, comes and sits right next to me, nudging me. He's kind of saying that. You hear this clown talk. But talking about Pink, wait till you hear this. Honestly, it's hilarious. Kind of going like that. I'm just sitting there like I'm not got to laugh. But inside, done pissing myself laughing. I'm like, oh my god. So Pink then stands up. He does a wee bit of a team talk. It was kind of 5-10 minutes. Try to just kind of talk through wee bits that they talk about all the time. Same, so he loves saying that one. It's just a cassette tape. I'll put it in and I press play. Pan in, pan out. You get to the halfway line. You do all that. He does the same thing. Same team talk every week. Pink then starts to do this team talk and Dick's like, can't even say it right. I've been saying this for years and he can't even do it. Pink's like that, right, get up. So we're like, okay, no sure what's going to happen. Get up, we've got to fight. So Dick's like that next to me. Give me a minute. Stands up middle of the changing room, right? Ken gives it all this for his boxing and all that. Kidding on, he's doing his boxing and stuff like that. Pink goes like, what's that? Dick looks the other way, he just went, whoosh. Gives him a right hand, a slap, like slapped him right across the back of the head. And he's like, and if you're hungover and that hurts good, sit down. Dick just comes back, sit down. He's I'd have got the better of him. Just like, what is going on here?
Absolute madness, like part-time football.
Yeah. We end up winning the game 4-0. Bobby Lynn was incredible, and I just like, fair enough, I love this. Let's go again. That's it.
What are the rest of the boys thinking at this sort of stage? When
they're all laughing at that. They'd been there for years.
They
They know what it is. But me at this point, I'm like, this is nuts. I can't wait to go home and tell people like what this was like. And I'm like, and then at that point, I'm like, I can't wait to then go to Monday training. And at that point, I'm like, part-time football, Monday night training. I'm like, I don't think I like this. I couldn't wait to get training and like, just to hear them again.
It's like the culture, all that, isn't it?
It's honestly amazing.
Where did you train about?
Latham and Perth.
Yeah.
So Latham Juniors. Yeah. And they were the same. They were a really good team, man. They were unbeaten in a few years and things like that. We used to play them every so often, but beat them. But still, it was a good game, like between the sort of players that won the playing and that Latham Junior team. But we used to train there. It was an actually tough pitch. Really good, must admit. Decent setup. It wasn't like brilliant, but I had a pitch there and you had a changing room. It was fine. And then the next one leading on for that as well. So it was a half time. So Brecon City, Other Angus Derby, were at home. So that was when the 4 of them were in the league that year, Barry. So like Forfar, Arbroath, Montrose, and then Brecon, obviously them all. I'm glad I got all 4 of them.
You did?
That was decent. Good geography, like that. I mean, mini table that we had as well. We were the best. There were 4 of them. Anyway, we were 2-0 up. 2-0 up in the game. Who comes in at half time. Boys are no like buzzing or that because you can't get buzzing at half time with the gaff because you're not sure what he's got to do. Comes in, starts punching the table and things like that. He's going, he's playing rubbish. Like, he swore, I'll not swear, but he's absolutely dreadful. He's this. And we were like, what's going on here? So then at that point, we kind of like Gaffer, we're winning 2-0. Like, you know that? Like, we're winning 2-0. And he actually then says to us, he was like, oh, sorry, boys, 3-15 we won at Kempton. I didn't know the score. And we were all, my God. So at this point in the season, he had actually like, oh my God. But then at the same time, you're just like, it's just Dick. It's just Dick at this point. So he's like, good go at the second half, do the same again, exactly the same. I'm going to watch the 3:45. You're like, I don't know if you're joking or not, but like, I don't know what's going on at this point. But that's what he said. He's watching the horses at half time instead of watching the game.
That's incredible.
And he thought, like, when he heard the cheer, hearing the cheers, that's thinking they were wanting to know, as he said, because it wasn't loud enough apparently. That place, so you're blaming the fans for not screaming loud enough. I couldn't turn it up. But even that just kind of sums him up. But see, like even now that we played them on Saturday, their team's not changed. It's the same ethos, same things that they're doing. And again, that East Fife team then get promoted for last year, and they're now doing really well this year. They done really well on Saturday. They're a wee bit unorthodox at times because they just launched the ball, but then they launch it up to a guy that's 6'7", and he flicks it on, and Fash is one of the best finishers in the league.
Cautious.
So
they actually didn't look too shabby. We played them pre-season. They didn't look too bad. They didn't look too shabby. Like, you know, we went
people
out
like that,
but you know,
people like that, and Mikey McKenna and people like that. Like Mikey McKenna was at Falkirk the year before. Exactly. I was like,
they build
No, they were
good at
great.
building that kind of team.
Other than the fact that I made a mistake on week. When does this go out?
A week.
All right, well, that's fine. So I've played well on Saturday. Aye, so they've launched one into the box. I've went to come for it, got nowhere near it. Kind of panicked a wee bit, but then didn't panic. So I'm like, right, just stand. You'll be fine. The ball come to you eventually.
Yeah.
Fash flicks it, and as he flicks it, I think easy peasy. Here's my diamond. Goes to go put the diamond. I've slipped. Boys up the net. I was like, oh no, man. And then even that, it's 88th minute. So I've not even got time to think about what's going on or anything like that. But straight up, like, oh my God. But again, like wee things, I've got like a YouTube channel that we've just started now, and my wee brother's like, oh no, we can edit out. And I'm like, absolutely not.
No.
Get that in there.
Aye.
Because now people will be talking about it and saying, you're rubbish.
Aye.
But then they might watch next week too. So I'm like, that's fine. I'll be rubbish.
Looking for mistakes.
I'll not be rubbish next week. You know what I mean?
I'll tell you, I've got a really good clip for you for that YouTube channel. Mark Oxley.
To be fair, I would probably put something stupid like that. Like, you would. Well, that's like Lucas when you genuinely, the engagement would be incredible. So it's been all right as well. It's like a few hundred views or something like that, whatever it's been. And I'm now anticipating it because it's like a Wednesday 6 p.m. thing, and I'm thinking like by Wednesday at 8 p.m. there's going to be 100 views of 10 people commenting saying, "What are you doing?
What is he up to?
You've no change for
Number with me. David Hasty won.
The other 5 will be my brother. He's the one, he can edit it and that. He's a good editor. He does, like you says, he's good at computer things like that as well, but he does the same. Sends me the wee clips that through WhatsApp just to say, like, I'll add this in, I like this was good, that was bad.
Yeah.
The angles for that's rubbish, blah, blah, blah. Send me the clip of the goal, and he's like, what are you doing? I'm like, right, Derek, I did actually do that. Like, I know what happened. Was it?
I want that one of the watch me there.
Ah, God. Aye.
We'll go to Kelty. Coming slightly further south out of those kind of Angus derbies and stuff like that. Ambitious club. Was that kind of part of your decision within that? Or?
I don't know if it was maybe just the money at that point, if I'm being completely honest.
So the thing is, you're kind of bankrolled at that stage where was it the boy Mackenzie or whatever his name was?
Tim Mackenzie, I
I
work for him now. That's a company I work for now as well. So it's wee
lovely guy.
Stick in. Sometimes if you see the figures, you just need to know the figures. Nah. Listen, Dean was a great guy. Anyway, at that point, I must admit, I would never say anything bad about him at that point. I wasn't playing at Arbroath.
Yeah.
The January before, I was supposed to go to Kelty in the January, but the sort of sequence of goalkeepers that had to move, there was like 4 or 5 people that had to then move. Pretty sure it was like Cammy Gill had to go to Kelty. Yeah. Cammy Gill had to go to Arbroath for me to go to Kelty, but for Cammy Gill to go to Arbroath, somebody had to then come into Dunfermline.
Yeah.
But the guy that had to come into Dunfermline, do you know what I mean? It was snakes and ladders and oh my God, there's so much to just growed arms and legs every time I hear a different part of the story, and eventually it just never worked out. And then gets to the February, so this is COVID year. Like we need to add that in as well. Gets to the February, COVID hadn't hit. Oh, I think it was in was it China? It was in China and all that first. We weren't really bothered about it at that point, no, in February. Dick Campbell says to me, I'll give you another year. You're same money. So at this point, I'm on like first team money as well, like first choice money, sorry, at this point. Like for part-time and that, it's really good. Really good job as well as a bus driver at the time, doing really well with the buses and things like that, like making enough money at the time. Do you want an extra year? And I was like, am I got to play? Typical kind of manager response, you might get some opportunities, you might know. And I'm like, right, so no, I'm not got to play then. So no, I didn't want the contract, basically.
Yeah.
March then hits, everything shuts down. Dick, how you doing there? See that year's the contract. You don't like it? I'll take that back if you want it. I'll take that one if you want it. Basically, I was the only person that got released that year for Arbroath, and that was pretty much why. I never fell out with him, but his kind of way of saying it is like, take it or leave it. Yeah. And I'm like, careful, I want to play. And he's like, well, right, fine, I've just withdrawn him. Didn't ask again. I was like, I didn't ask in the first place.
Like
that's the way that he was as a person. Honestly, I get on with him really well, great guy, but it's just like his way of doing things, basically.
of course.
Nobody's bigger than him, but nobody's bigger than the club, sort of thing. And that's basically exactly the same as what I says about Livingston.
Yeah.
But it was in a different light because I wanted to play.
Aye.
It wasn't that I'm saying I'm too good to be here. It was just I just want to play football. Just want to play football. So COVID then hits. I had a Zoom call with Barry Ferguson in the March, because at that point I knew that I was getting released. That COVID with furlough and things like that as well, even gets to the June, and I phoned up Pink. I tried to phone him, actually didn't answer his phone. I text Pink and I says to Pink, can I have that furlough just for a month, just to get me through the summer to my Kelty wage comes in? Nah. So I was like, I've not got any money at this point. I bus driver money, but I'm part-time, so like my 2 part-time wages make a full-time wage. So I'm now part-time. Couldn't afford my house. And it's always the best story ever, because I've phoned my mum up. I was like, Mum, I can't afford this flat. I need to come back in and move back in with you. My mum's like, no chance, I'll transfer you for her. I was like, you don't want me, Mum? That's what this fuck up. Yeah, exactly. So my mum paid my rent for a month as well, just before it all happened. And then as the football kind of started to come back to life again, didn't get me wrong, it was in bubbles and you were doing your COVID testing every single week and all that kind of jargon, if you will. Kind of was rubbish at that time and stuff like that. But see, in that time, I was so thankful for like even the fact that Kelty just wanted me. But in that Zoom call, which is the exact same thing as what I'd spoke to when I spoke to Dick Campbell, and he says to me, if I had a decent goalie, again I'm no naming the goalies, if I had a decent goalie, would have won the league and then some. Would have won the league, would have got up and would be in League 2 right now. And I was like, right, I've heard this story before. I actually said that to him as well. Like Barry Ferguson, all people too. Like, reputation, again, quite similar to the gaffer. Had the sort of ego and the reputation to be like that.
Yeah, of course.
And I says that to him. I says, listen, I've had this story before. That Campbell said the exact same thing to me at Arbroath. I actually believe you though. Because I now know that I will come in and I will make this team better. And he says that to me straight away. He was like, Dean was on the call as well. It says Dean McKenzie's on the call too. And he says that. Didn't even let him come off the call without signing him. And at that point I thought, I've just impressed Barry Ferguson. I was like, I've done well for myself. And then they go to try and discuss the money and things like that as well. And I'm like, I know what boys are on here. And you're offering me that. And I was like, come on. Like, let's go.
Play the game.
Play the game, exactly. Play the game. But I've still got my agent. I've still got him now, but I've got my agent as well. And I've phoned my agent, basically says, like, I'm like partially agreed to go to Kelty, but the money that they've offered me there, no chance. So he phoned me back and he's like, Kelty now know that you've no got a club, you've no got any money coming in, and they're basically no offering you any more money. And I went, right, go on then, I'll just go. Just take it. So when it came to the actual cash part of it, I never got that. Not to start with anyway. Certainly not my first year. But Barry Ferguson, that as well, definitely wasn't for that. But by the November time, or was it November, December, whenever it was, like near the end of that sort of, just before the transfer window, they then offered me another deal and basically says, I've been the best goalie that the club's ever had, blah, 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 how much you want? And at that point, no, but it genuinely was like that, though. It genuinely was like that. I said to them, I was like, I appreciate that you're coming to me and saying that. It's just, but I've came here for 6 months on lesser money, if you will, isn't it? Because it was still fine, it was really good, but lesser money, and I now want to be where everybody else is. So whatever they're on, I want something around about that. So I did end up getting it eventually, which is a good thing for me in the end. And then when Kevin Thompson comes in, I'd had a really good conversation with Kevin Thompson as well. So it was the same in that summer. Then COVID went, that was there, and then it went away again, and then it came back to January, and then it went away again. And
was it quite strange just between that transition of Ferguson to Thompson? He's obviously won the Lowland at that stage.
It was a strange.
Get promoted and then Fergie leaves.
It was a strange one.
Can't believe I just called Barry Ferguson Fergie, but like I know him. Like, good point. But like,
hopefully he doesn't see that.
Nah, I'm sure he'll know what this is. It's worth it.
So tagging him. Maybe you have 5 accounts. Let's go see one of them. You should see what he said. So the kind of long and short of it all was, we'd won at Brecon. We got the promotion. We'd had the party of a lifetime because it was a free bar and all the rest of it. It was great. So it was like it was in the gentleman's club or social club or whatever it is as well. We were in, there was a few amount of fans thing like that, but they were all the volunteers.
Right.
So the ones that were still behind the scenes doing things and classes in your bubble, free bar. And then I was inviting a couple of mates, but we'll not tell them about them, but it's fine. I've done everything that's COVID wanted me to do. That didn't. But anyway, so for that point, probably got to about 2 o'clock in the morning or something like that. We went back to the club, and actually spoke. And at that point, Fergie stood up. I've just called him Fergie too. Yes. Come on. Listen, I want the vibe to tag him in the drum. Wee Baz. It's going to be vines. Wee Baz. It's going to be Wee Baz or Fergie. No,
Just managed the Europa League in that. But,
the wonderful Barry Ferguson. No, the manager at the time.
he hasn't.
How do you think? What did I even say now? I was just calling it sorry.
Gaffer Spud will sort this.
No, he won't.
Always shakes his head when you say it. Aye, so Barry Ferguson stood up at that point and basically said, like, I'm away. That's me. I'm done. We've not got anything else. We're not doing nothing. We're done. I'm away. And it ended up being it was because he'd agreed to go to Alloa at the time.
Yeah.
Aye, massive shock. And at that point, you're drunk as well, and you're like, so what? But then he needs you. And then you wake up in the morning, and you're like, oh my God, he's like he's been like a linchpin for all us. But at the time, I felt like he was like he'd done everything right. We had all the different wee bits of vitamins, and we always had things after the game, with hydration tablets and protein, loads of different things like that doesn't happen at part-time football, basically, that he had implemented to make sure that we got promoted. And when he leaves, you're like, right, who's going to match him? And then when Kevin Thompson comes in, you're like, I've heard all about Kevin Thompson at this point being methodical, tactical, everything that Barry Ferguson wasn't, basically. Because Barry Ferguson just had an ego, he was just an angry man, and he just had the best 11 players, in my opinion.
Some of those players are like Higginbottom, Tidser, Craig Reid, Dylan Easton, Nathan Austin's, like,
far too good for
ridiculous at that time. Like,
there was actually one point in that season, so I've Cumbernauld Colts, have a shot, hits the fence, I've rolled the ball, and I've just launched it, and I just thought, we'll see what happens. Fash bullies the defender, Meg Stella defender, and chips the goalie. I get the assist. I'm standing at the back going, no problem. Brilliant. Fash done all the work. Unbelievable. And he still kind of does wee things like that now. You see it, and I'm like, I know it's coming, but he still fools defenders in League One. And that was, no disrespect to it, but that was low in league at that point. Aye, so it wasn't quite as. And when Kevin Thompson comes in, the first thing he wants is everybody to meet up with him. So he says to us, it was a Tuesday afternoon in the middle of the summer, I'm going to be here from 10 o'clock in the morning till 3 o'clock in the afternoon, or whatever it was. I want to meet every player. My contract had run out, but he wanted to renew my contract. Kevin Thompson wanted to renew my contract at that point, so I was like, fine, didn't mind. Gets in, had a 10-minute conversation with the guy, and I was like, I feel like I'm going to like this. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it's just his demeanour, just the way that he is as a person. Just really good. Came across really well, like right through the get-go, basically.
did he do the coaching?
No, so Geordie, Kevin McDonald, who's Dunfermline now.
His first team coach at the
He was with Tidser, we went to before. So he came in with Kevin Thompson. I think he's in Kevin Thompson Academy and things like that.
Yeah, I think it's
brother-in-law, I'm sure, something like that.
Not sure.
There is something there. He done everything. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
But what he didn't do was the bits in the background where, see, the training wasn't good enough.
We'd all step in and call it.
Well, so Geordie would just look. I've seen it a few times now that I wouldn't have even thought about it, but now when I think about it back, I'm like, Geordie just gave Kevin Thompson a look to say, you better do something to them because they're annoying me, because they're not doing what I want them to do well.
Yeah.
And he would come in. Sometimes he would shout, sometimes he'd give you pointers, sometimes he would just say, get a grip, what he's doing. Like, we're top of the league, you need to be better than that, blah, blah, blah. And then once he would step back out again, you wouldn't even see him. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? At times he would be walking around the ground, he could be in his office, you wouldn't even know he was there, but it was just always Geordie that done everything. Geordie was brilliant. Was it? Really, I can see why he probably gets kicked at Dunfermline, even though he came as a package. Do you know what I mean?
Well, that's it, under kind of Lennon and stuff now as well. And
I bet he does all that as well. He will do all the training and that. Neil Lennon will be the one, again, like Kevin Thompson, that probably just steps in when he needs to.
What was so like kind of Tidser and stuff like? Did he obviously kind of stepped in later on, kind of to take that Kelty job?
Aye, so I've always been, well, I mean, you'll know, maybe even feel like this, the interaction now, like, I'm always one of the louder ones. Always been really confident, always been one of the louder ones. In that changing room, I was one of the quieter ones. Because
so many characters.
I have so many characters. Amazing. Really good. But like, strictly name dropping people, but like Tidser was your captain. Yeah. So he was always Fash was always the one joking about. Great guy. I've had everything about him. You couldn't, you come at him with something, he would come straight back to you. and you're just like, I'm just not even going to speak to him.
Right, just stay safe.
Exactly. Aye. You can something's coming if you're it. But then sometimes you would also then say it to him just so you would just make the changing room laugh, do you know what I mean?
Aye.
So it kind of got to that point. But then we had players like Robbie McNabb's a PT.
Yeah.
What a guy. Like, honestly, just one of the guys, it's just, you think he's got nothing up here.
Yeah.
And then he now runs his own business and he's got his own gym and he things like that. And you're like, you are smart.
Aye.
But when you're in that changing room, you're
Just nothing.
aye, we're all thick as thieves, and things like that. Loads of boys, even like Callum Higginbottom and things like that as well. I wasn't really one of the jokers or anything like that, but he would demand like nobody's business. That's why Barry Ferguson brought him in, I think, because he was very similar to what Barry Ferguson.
Quite a big sign at that level as well.
100%, aye.
Where he'd been in his career. And stuff.
So that Lowland League team, we thought when we were going to League Two, we've got a right good chance of winning this. We probably need a couple of players. Probably like maybe a centre mid and a left winger was the reason. The reason why I say that is because they two signings that we made, Joe Cardle,
unbelievable,
and Connor Bannon, and you're just like, we thought the team was all right before, and we've now got Joe Cardle one side, Higgy on the other side. We thought because we'd lost Dylan Easton as well, how we got to replace him. Joe Cardle then comes in and he was the PFA League Two Player of the Year. Just wow. Honestly, wow. He's very similar to Bobby Lynn.
Unbelievable at Dunfermline. Obviously got moved to, played for Wraith for a while.
And then when he went down south, he came back up.
Went down to
Failed or
AFC Failed, I think.
that one.
Look at that, I think everybody knows I'm a Dunfermline supporter. Proper fanboy, like Joe Cardle.
Well, like, he was incredible.
Aye.
Really good.
Proper fan.
But it's not a Dunfermline podcast, right?
It's not.
We can do that.
Let's go back to Michael
Before you do though, before we move on to kind of next part, was there ever talk of you coming back to Livingston, like when you were kind of part time?
Yeah, a couple of times. I've never really even spoke about it, to be honest. But
it was just,
well, to be fair, he told me, and that's how I know.
It's no necessary
spud.
He shouldn't know more than me. Listen, there was wee bits and pieces that were like kind of talks and things like that was potentially coming back in. At the time, more just probably like back up and things like that. Neil Alexander was here, for example, was one. Remember that? It was always a kind of a maybe.
He was rubbish, wasn't he?
No. Again, see that though as well. Like I've always now the part-time teams I've been in, things like that as well. Like I'll go into the history books and things like that because like first team in Arbroath to win League One. This is the first time we'd ever won League One, and I'm like, right, I'm part of that. Great. Go to Kelly, it's the first time they got in the league, and then they won League Two, and I'm part of that. I then go to Steny, it's the first time they've won the league in 146 years or something like that, and I'm also part of that. I go to like Livi, they've won the Challenge Cup, for example. See, when they went the second time they won the Challenge Cup final, I'm like, And then when they go win it, I'm like, aye, but we won it first. So I'm always kind of, it was always
19's my favourite number.
Exactly. We things like that, but then see when Neil Alexander comes in, you're like, aye, wee bit older, he'll not be great. He was unbelievable.
It was incredible.
He was so good for Livingston. So you just put your hands up and say, maybe there was one better goalie than Maitland.
I remember getting really, because I remember we were texting kind of back and forth, and I remember you saying there's a chance, like speaking, and Neil Alexander was there. And I was like, my head would just fall off with it. Like Neil Alexander backed up like by Darren Jamieson in terms of huge characters and huge goalkeepers at the club. Like I was so excited, and then I think, did you sign for Arbroath at that point? Was that when you signed for Arbroath?
Yeah.
I was like, why is he dead? But it's worked out obviously very, very well for you.
I've played the same.
Wanted to play, exactly.
That's exactly what it came down to, I think. I had a few like sort of wee chats here and there when I was edging towards just coming back. And the thing is as well, like close to a testimonial and things like that. And I know it sounds really stupid, but if I come back and play for a couple of years, I could then get the testimonial money and things like that. And I was like, oh yeah, beauty, I could get that. That's it for your head, though. Wee things like that. So
Think Colin Young will give you man of the match in your own testimony?
Better. In fact, I want him back so that he can give me man of the match.
Join the club of people who want Colin Young back.
I know. Listen, I know it, but don't I know.
Sorry, I want Callum Brown back.
It's all right. I know things like that would never happen now. Like the clubs, the difference between when I left and now, the clubs just got better and better and better. completely understand, like, obviously Martindale's got a massive part of that. I would be able to, like, vouch for him, because when he first came in, he was walking about, like, painting the sills and things like that in the place, and you're like looking and going like, who's that? Because then 20 minutes later he's out on the training pitch for his Fitwith one too, and you're like,
What's he do?
I think he was the painter. And I'm like, he's now on the, alright, fine.
He still does it.
At the first couple of training sessions,
sessions.
exactly. The first couple of training sessions, things like that, I never really got involved. He was just there. And then eventually it kind of does get to the point. I never had him as manager, but he was assistant manager when I was in as well. And you can see why he's here.
Yeah.
He's got the credentials for it. He's always had it. Simple as that.
Absolutely.
But going back, sorry, to the way that it was, it could have happened, but again, it was just because I wanted to play her. Yeah, that was the only reason.
Stenny at the moment. Gary Naismith, let's start there. How is he?
Brilliant. Aye, really, really good.
You were always going to give me a safe answer on that one.
Nah,
Do you call him Nazy or anything?
doesn't get a lazy, no. Listen, I would see the biggest thing for me. I would never want to burn bridges with anybody anymore. Anyway, see, I'd speak to Matt Butchell now, and I would hope now that I would have some sort of relationship with him that I would be able to say the way I acted was out of order. I should never have done that.
Yeah,
I put him under too much pressure for you not to bring someone else in. Yeah, and then when you do bring someone else in, I'm expecting him to leave so that I play again. It's never got to happen, is it? Let's be honest.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think I've learned for that. Probably later on in my career, but I now have learned for that. So I would get to the point where I'd never burn bridges. So I would never tell your manager was rubbish.
Yeah.
Off camera maybe, but definitely not. No, never had one anyway. Good save, wasn't it? Oh, good save that one. You're full of that.
Had the diamond it.
Every single one of them were brilliant. Keep that in, smart.
Well done, Fergie.
But no, Gary Naismith, everything that he does, you can tell he's played at a high level, I think. Very methodical when it comes to everything that we would do off the ball. So defensively, as we can tell, like I say, 19 clean sheets that season's incredible.
1934.
I think we were like 1 and 2, like throughout the season though as well. Like when we conceded, we were at the point where we were like, have we just conceded there? We didn't normally concede. Yeah. But it's fine because we're going to score 2 or 3 other in. We won, I think we won 12 in a row, 12 wins in a row. And in that, there was like 8 clean sheets as well, things like that. Just can't grumble with that at all. Like, it's amazing.
I think a big part of that was it Matty Yates? Nah. Kind of not there now, but like, how good was he? Because I think he was linked with numerous clubs at higher levels.
I mean, I think the season before he scored some I was 18 goals or 19 goals or whatever. But we went into that pre-season, gaffers run shaking everybody's hands. Hi. It gets to Matty Yates and he goes, I bet you didn't think you were here this year, big man. And we were all, I was like, even the change room, I'm like, I'm one of the louder ones, but I'm not going to look. That's not it. Like, oh my God.
I mean, it's like Bobby on you.
Nah, it's a wee ha-ha. Yeah. But then goes into that season and just does the exact same as what he'd done before, but his numbers were just incredible. He's one of the players that you would probably say his passing's his best attribute, but his shooting's just as good. Yeah. He never had as much pace, but he could get away from people. Do you know what I mean? Like, he just always kind of had like a wee bit of everything. And then like he's got a move to Linfield now as well, kind of Champions League games and that they've just played. It does definitely show. Always been that type of player, but in that season, we had a lot of good players in the team. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. It shows in the Player of the Year awards at the end of the season. There's 4 different awards. There's 4 different players that won the Player of the Years. I ended up winning the Norwegian Supporters Player of the Year or something like that as well. And I'm like laughing and joking about it. I was like, just because you've never seen anybody else playing the team. Yeah. Because you're from Norway, you've only seen me. Nice. You picked the goalie. You know what I mean? That's what I say. But in all seriousness, anybody could have won it that year. Yeah.
You've got people like Gregory Buchanan and stuff like that as well.
Bucks and Nicky in front of me, unbelievable. Ross Meekin, like you call him a journeyman, but I mean, like he does everything well. Yeah, simple as that. Meekinley's came in. He was at the exit trials. See, like the PFA exit trials. Like the gaffers picked him up off the exit trials. Comes in 5'5". He'll hate me for saying that. He'll probably, hopefully, never see this unless I tag him in it. 5'5", and he's one of the best in the air. One of the best. The whole back 4 in the air. Doesn't get beaten there. Everyone targets him.
He gets diagged.
And he gets diagged on all the time. He just comes up and bosses everything. And you're like, fair play to me, man. That's brilliant. So that was even our back 4 that was set, including me, obviously back 5. Yep. And then everybody in front was just kind of like, you just go and play. We'll deal with everything back here. Yep. And that's just basically how it worked. But it's always been that under Gary Naismith for what I've seen. Yeah. He just wants to make you defensively sound. everything kind of changes. So it's like I'm not giving away any formations or tactics or anything like that because I wouldn't be able to. But if for like some weeks it's like right, one fullback can go and the other one needs to cover, but then the next again week both your fullbacks are just supporting, but then you go beyond. And then other weeks it's like both of you go. Yeah. Because if both of you go, we've then got 2 CDMs that'll sit here and so
just overload.
Defensively, we were always sound, and we have been again at the weekend. Then if I didn't slip, we win 1-0 in that game, no problem.
Exactly.
We're dealing with all the long balls that they're giving us. We're doing everything that they've put on top of us. We're either playing with Mikey McKenna or we're either just launched it in the box. We've dealt with everything. And other than the slip, that's why. That's because he sets us up that way, and that's the way that we're inclined to play, is to be defensively first and then go and attack.
Obviously have a good kind of rapport with him as well. He obviously trusts you, giving you a new deal and things like that. A wee bit of security at this sort of age and things like that. It's important, isn't it?
100%. I'd only just signed, so obviously you sign in the July, and by the October he was trying to give me a new contract, and that was the way that we were as like people. Again, like I says, that changing room for me is the complete opposite of Kelty. By the way, just to try and give a wee bit of context on that, I go in there and I'm the loudest in the changing room. I'm running about with just my boxers on, saying like, Gaffer, look at me and look at this, and I'm doing this and that, and then like there's a dartboard in there and all that, and I'm putting my hand on the dartboard and saying, somebody throw it at the dartboard for a five or not, and the Gaffer's like, ah. Do you know what I mean? Just three things the Gaffer. It's just all the banter, the camaraderie that you get in a changing room. But I like to think now that when I've went in there, I've made it slightly better, like just keeping everybody, because it's a quiet changing room. Boys are all lovely. I've went in, bit of riot, made it a wee bit better. I think I've made it a wee bit better. Do you know what I mean? Like that's just the way that I've seen it for that point. But then for there, I'm now one of the older ones, which I hate to admit, but I am. So you've got Bucks, Ross Meekin and me. Yeah. And I think we class it as, it's not like a leadership group or anything like that, but the Gaffer just says to us, Bucks is the captain, Meekin's the vice captain, and then if they two manage to fall off the face of the earth, then you'll be the captain for the next game, sort of thing. It's like, all right, fair enough. And from that point, you then see why the older players had such a good relationship with the manager, because he does come to you sometimes and say, what do you think about this? Yeah. What would you do about that? I'm not sure about this, but what do you think? And then I come back to him and say, well, this is what I think. Yeah. It doesn't mean that he listens to it, but it just gives you that wee bit of experience. You're just a wee tiny wee sort of snippet of what you would want to be when you retire, basically.
I think as well, him coming from a kind of international level, like just shy of 50 caps for Scotland off the top of my head, like, and he's coming to you, for example, saying, aye, what do you think? Like, exactly. Just gives you a bit of boost. And
I know, definitely. Aye. He feeds into my ego, that's for sure. And again, I kind of go back to it all the time. I'm saying I'm humble sometimes. Definitely feeds into it. No, Tom, sometimes I'm fine.
But we guys are asking you what you say.
I'm beaten on the ground sometimes. I'm less bad as a Fergie, just like spin that. I keep saying that. No, listen, it's definitely going to get out of dinner. I didn't even mean it. He was such a good guy as well. I had such a good relationship with him too. We're finding him up. Anyway, Gaza. Back to Gaza. The Gaffer would always come to me, and he comes out on night shoots with us and things like that sometimes as well, because he feels like it's good for the team. Yeah. And I'm the type of person as well, with the 4 bottles of vodka that I had for Bonus United that I've never drunk responsibly.
It's still there. Does vodka go today?
I'll find it. I'll find it. It's got one in the car. You can have one. Live after dark.
So it's only best before. It's fine.
So he came out on a couple of the night shoot and things like that, and I've been kind of brass enough to say to him, like, then I'm the best player you've ever signed. I would probably agree with it. I'll be honest. I might actually still say to him, now look, like I might actually have been, but at that point I'm like, I am the best player you've ever signed. I should be the captain. Bucks on my way pipe up and I'm like, listen, you sit down, I'm having a good conversation. It's a mature conversation, the the manager, you're not involved, I'm the captain, right? Going, things like that. And again, he responds so well with it. Does he? And I feel like he brings the change room together when it comes to things like that. We've then got Brown, Ferguson, who was the manager of Stenny before, knows the place inside out, comes in, again, takes the training and things like that too. The camaraderie between him and us as well was exactly the same. It's great. So you couldn't fault the dressing room and the cohesion in the dressing room as well.
superb.
You've always kind of had good dressing room. You mentioned that you're kind of one of the quieter ones in the Kelty changing room, but even you go back to Livingston, you've seen a lot of the daft stuff that you guys did. You know, the Harlem Shake video, for example. So, you know, I can only guess that you were the perpetrator. You're probably one of the leading people who made sure that the Harlem Shake was done.
Well, I made sure it was done right.
I've gone well back though, like talking dressing rooms, you're talking like Snoddy and stuff.
Yeah.
Exactly. No, that's what I grew up with as well. Do you know what I mean? I had all that as well. Snoddy, like his prank calls and things like that. I mean, it's famous now. I didn't need to talk about it, but everything that he used to do in changing rooms. But then see, like Snoddy maybe left, but then Beanie, Ian Russell came in. But then it was like a sort of core group of people was like Keegan, Paul Watson, Beanie, Mango Bar, Craig Bar, sorry, Mango. He actually got his name. He got his name literally changed to Craig Mango Bar. It's the one. He actually got changed. That's why anyway. They kind of five of them. They were the sort of core group, and then everyone fed off of them.
Yeah.
But then you're like Mark McNulty came in, and it's not like this Nidri, but like a Nidri boy, a typical Nidri boy as well. Like,
out there, bold.
Aye, and then your Andy Hallidays and things like that as well. Again, govern.
Yeah.
I didn't mean it in that way because I'm not being disrespectful to the places, but that's what they were like. They had to be like that to grow up in
to survive
part of the streets. Do you know what I mean? Like that's what it's like. And then putting them on one changing room, incredible.
Carnage
is a good word. We ended up putting a table tennis table in the middle of the changing room. So I don't know if you'd fit it in now actually when you see it because they never had the benches like they do now.
Yeah, they've changed
back then.
But now, yeah.
But we had the table tennis in the middle of that anyway. And I mean to the point is like we had like entrance music. Honestly, so it was a proper full tournament
show.
The full bang, and you had an entrance music. You had 30 seconds. You had to come in, do what you had to do when you were in, and then you go and play at 11. And then obviously the boys that were the better ones will obviously play, but then we got a Champions League theme and all this nonsense. And honestly, it was like
what was your entrance song?
Mine, I went with the Rock. So if you're and I'm running in like trying to
get the eyebrow off and stuff.
Like, do you know what I mean? Like, as if I had anything about me to do it as well. Like, I was like 60 kilograms at the time. A wee wee, and then you've got the Rock as a wee monster. But aye, it's like you just pick something and go with it.
Did you win any games?
Did I not? Do you know what everyone says? Like, so you're supposed to be naturally good at like other sports.
Yeah,
I'm the complete opposite of that.
Right.
I'm rubbish at golf. I'm rubbish at tennis. I'm rubbish at table tennis. Name another sport.
Rugby.
Terrible. Nah, I probably could catch the ball. Actually, I've not really played it, but
like American football.
Diamond.
I don't think
American football. Tunnel tag. I think I could play tunnel. I think I could do that.
He's completely balled you up, Robin. So it's made me look even more. Exactly.
I maybe could play that, but see, other than that, they're terrible at every other sport. I was really bad at swimming. I actually went for a couple of lessons at swimming, and I had an ex-girlfriend who used to be a swimmer to show me how to swim properly, and that's just today, the 50 metres, not today any more than that. Terrible at everything else. And again, I'm left-handed with everything, because I'm left-handed originally, but throwing the ball with my right hand, I kick the ball with my right foot.
Oh, right.
Aye, I'm ambidextrous.
I'm ambidextrous, yeah.
Rubbish. I can just right my left hand and throw my right, that's it. But I try and do everything else with my right hand and I can't do it. I am rubbish at every other sport. So then when they say sportsmen are good at everything, I'm obviously not a very good sportsman.
But you can save a penalty. So
I can save a penalty.
It's all that matters. It's all that matters.
Exactly.
Let's move away from kind of football at the moment then, or away from the actual game itself.
Yeah.
What have you been up to with your own sort of business and things at the moment? You've obviously got your goalkeeping brand, kit socks, everything else. Tell us about that sort of stuff. How's this kind of...
How did it even come about? So my brother's good at computers. He does a lot of the faceless YouTube channel things and all that. He realises that he can monetize it because you get a certain amount of views, things like that. Again, it's boring, we'll not go into it, but that's how it came about.
Our editor is really happy with that comment.
But again, that's what they'll understand. Look at that. So
that's why he's behind the camera.
Certain amount of views and things like that. And so he monetized a couple of faceless YouTube channels, and with AI and things like that, it helped him. I then came to them with the situation, or the sort of, I get really frustrated. And again, it's not to burn bridges or anything like that, but my old glove brand was a Northern Irish glove brand, so trying to get the gloves to me, frustrated. And then they had a wee problem with their supplier and things like that. At the time, I'm like, aye, right, they're making it up. I've had problems with my supplier, so I know what they're talking about. Yeah. But anyway, it was a February. I got really frustrated with it one. I said it to my brother. I said, see, if you would edit things for me, I would just be the face of everything, and I would actually go and do that. And he's like, aye, let's do it. And I was like, aye, we'll do it, aye. And then nothing ever came it. That was the February. The July, it then all creeps back up again, and you're like, right, but how can we go about actually doing this?
Yeah.
Because I can then go into this new season here, and I will wear gloves, and I will promote the hell out of these because they're now mine.
They're yours.
And it's literally that. It's actually got my initials on the gloves. And I'm like, I'll do it. So my brother says to me one night, he's like, right, I tell you what, he says, if I'm editing and things like that, you deal with the suppliers. So the only way that we can move forward is if you get a pair of gloves. And I was like, right, fine. So it all kind of just comes about in a sort of natural way, really, is that you just basically Google it. It's not like I could do. I didn't know what to do. They all come from Pakistan. It's been brilliant to an extent because you do need to wait like a certain amount of time on the gloves. Again, it's not to give things away or be boring or anything like that. You do need to wait a certain amount of time, so you need to obviously know in advance when you're going to order gloves, blah blah blah, all that. And then eventually we got a sample pair in the September, and then by October the 1st, we launched on the 4th of October. But by October the 1st, all the gloves just arrived at my door. I was just like, right, well, we need to do it now.
This is happening.
I've got X amount of gloves in front of us. I can't. I would be able. I wish I could tell you. I can't remember how much the first order was, but maybe 100 pairs of gloves. Say,
yeah,
we've got 100 pairs of gloves now, and I need to do something with them. So we're going to have to start this.
And you shift them.
So by the 4th of October, we had all the editing and all that put out. There was a pre-sale put out, and the pre-sale had pretty much sold out the gloves.
Yeah,
before I'd even started the business.
My word.
And like I say, I know it wasn't into the thousands, so I'm not like going to big myself with that. Maybe 100 pairs of gloves, I think it was. And I say 50, 60, 70 pairs that just went straight away, and I was just like, I've got to order my gloves. And then that's what I'm saying about potentially having supplier issues and things like that. I'm phoning him up and saying to him, I need more. I need them more. And he's like, right, that's 6 weeks. Right, make it 5.
Yeah.
Actually, try and make it 4. I'll give you my money. All these wee things that you try and do and trying to liaise with them and things like that. And I've not got to diss them in any way, shape or form because, again, I'm not burning bridges.
Yeah.
They've been unbelievable with us. They've managed to get everything in. We've now got 5 models in. But actually at the point now where we're thinking we maybe need to try and reduce the size of the amount of models we've got.
Yep.
So we'll try and see if we can get rid of a couple of pairs before we do. And we've then sold out to a different player. So the OGs, which are the white ones, the very first pair we brought out, we've sold out to the 7s, the 8s and the 9s. And it's like, what do we do? But we're kind of at that point, we're like, do we try and just keep handing out models of gloves, or do we then try and go into something else?
Yeah.
And that then obviously leads on really nicely to the fact that we were like, well, what else do you use?
Yeah.
And I would like the Gain the Edge glove again. It's shouldn't probably mention it to key aim the limelight, if you will.
Yeah.
But you came at your like 4 for £24 or whatever it was. You're like, I've just take them.
Yeah.
They'll be fine. So then we were like that again, right? So then we'll order 100 pairs of socks again, see how we get on, and it was the exact same with them as well. So we've been incredibly lucky with either Derek's editing, which is probably the main part, everything that he's done in the background, because he started the business, he put everything on so that it would be a legitimate limited company business and things like that as well. All your insurances and things like that we need and all that, he's dealt with everything like that. He just says to me, stand in front of the camera and say that do this. $35.99.
But to be fair,
perfect.
Your content is really good as well. Like it flashes up all the time. So you're right. What Derek's done and you know, being able to get it out there has been incredible. But for me, I remember I bought a pair of the OGs, and it was just, I was like, I'm not a goalkeeper, but I'll play 5s. You get a good pair of gloves, diamonds, right? But I was like, do you know what? I'll buy a pair. I play 5-a-sides. I go in goals. It'll be good. And I wasn't expecting much. It was 35 quid. So you're kind of like, you know,
no, they're not as expensive as everybody else.
But the quality. Yeah. I was genuinely so surprised.
Yeah.
I don't mean that.
No, a lot of people have said that to me.
But it was great. And and you put them on and
that's what I said to it. Sorry to interrupt you on that, right? But I say that to the players all the time. So see the boys at the club and all that. you want a pair of gloves? You want a pair? And they go, I'm not a go. They're really good for gardening, but honestly, you'll get a fit.
But they're so they're genuinely very comfortable, and I've used them like playing five-a-sides and stuff like that, and the grip levels that you get. Obviously, you're still a professional goalkeeper. If you're using these gloves, like
you know what you need.
they're not
be like that.
like for the price. The quality of the product that you're getting, I'll be honest, I've not tried the grip socks. I'm going to try steal that pair and see how I get on with American football. But I'll wear them tomorrow at training and do a review for you. But like genuinely, the quality was probably the biggest surprise for me for the price point.
Yeah.
You'd remember back, my brother was a goalkeeper.
Yeah.
And growing up, my mum and dad had to spend literally hundreds of pounds on gloves.
Yeah.
Like, because these gloves are supposed to be the best, the finger saves back when they were a finger saves. Like genuinely, like
Raging when it snapped.
and you're going,
Broke my finger on the
sound, aye,
Yeah.
£100, 120. These are the price points that they were paying for this, and I saw these pair at 35, and I was like, well, they'll be great for potting around playing fives or whatever, potting around in the garden apparently. And genuinely, the quality is incredible.
But see, for that point as well, though, it's what we tried to do as well. So it's like to contradict it, but then we were trying to keep it below what other people are got their gloves is. What you actually then realise is that is the opinion of quite a lot of people. If they're £35, they're not going to be as good.
Yeah.
Like, I tried to kind of come away from that. So then we did slightly increase prices and then say, like, right, let's see if somebody will buy. And they actually do.
Yeah.
They then buy them because they're slightly more.
Yeah.
So you're kind of trying to get a right good balance. They are a really good glove. They need to be a good glove because I'm using them. I've now got, he'll not mind me saying as well, so the guy at Berwick Rangers, Liam Campbell, he wears them faithfully.
Yeah.
And I've also just signed the guy, Felglen City, Thomas McHale.
Very good.
To wear the gloves for this season as well. I've got a guy down south, Max Evans, that now wears them as well. And little things like that is I can't then give them the gloves for them to not be as good as they need to be.
Exactly.
You can't go into games and just be like, oh, I'm not sure about these.
Yeah.
I want to be able to go into a game and say, I need these. I want to keep wearing these and I want them to keep sending them to me and blah, blah, blah. So that's kind of where it comes from. The newest ones, which is why I brought them.
Let's see them.
The newest ones, the Aura ones. So basically what we've done with them was we actually changed the backhand of them. And what it actually does with that is, no for it's a wee bit of advertising, but it's now the best backhand it can be. So it's now the best backhand and now the best front hand.
Yeah.
Palm, however you want to call it. Front hand? Do you call it front hand? Hand? Maybe no good at like explaining that, right? That's what my brother does, not me. So the backhand.
Yeah, palming with the backhand is difficult.
We should get Derek to.
He should have that. Should have got him in the back and tell me what to say.
Cue cards.
So everything that came with the gloves as well. So we're now just continually trying to improve them as well. With the grip socks are pretty much sold out. So we've got another batch of them in as well. I'm thinking about getting new colours in, things like that. But again, the guy that we dealt with in Pakistan done everything that we asked him to.
Yeah.
I was like, well, a big logo on the back and the wee grips at the bottom, instead of them just being me circles, I want my logo imprinted into them.
Like, we
So,
see that.
aye. So we literally got
PG on them.
the DV
so
got
good.
imprinted into them as well. And now when I look at them, I'm like, it's exactly what I wanted.
Superb. Put them down before the editor gets angry that I'm rustling a bit of paper right in front of my out.
Good point. So for that point of view, for the business, it's going well. We want it to be better.
Yeah.
We want to get more sales, and we just want to continue to grow as well. So wee things like this, I can come on and have a laugh about it, but we will also then turn it back to the fact that it's like this is like a legitimate business now.
Yeah.
We're not got to just be here for a year and then just sack it off. Like we're a year in October and we're only trying to get better. You know what I mean? It's only got to get better as well.
I think it probably is quite difficult to put a price point on things because, as you said, if you go too cheap, people maybe won't buy it because they think. I think I played golf up north. I can't remember where it was, but the boy was like, oh, "Don't get any kind of passing trade or anything because we're only 175 quid." He was like, following year he bumped up to 500 quid and he sold it.
Yeah, no,
because like he gets a lot of foreigners in, so they think
must be amazing. Must be good.
Like, but at the same time, you want it to be affordable for people and everything else.
Exactly.
Very
kind of try
to get to that.
Get it both ways as well. And then like, there's loads of things I've learned, loads and loads of things, like all your niches and all this nonsense that. But I say it's nonsense. It's not. It actually works quite well for us. But like your niches are like, who are you planning on? Like, who do you want to buy them?
Yep.
Do you want it to be just kids? Do you want it to be adults? Do you want it to be anybody in between? And I'm saying to my brother all the time, nah, just everybody. And he's like, right, so we need to narrow it down a wee bit. So like when it's the kids, we need the kids to feel the comfort. For the teenagers, we need them. They need the grip.
Yeah.
For the adults, they need the proper sizing. So like that's the way that we're trying to knock it down as well into little segments. Say, how can we make the gloves the best gloves, basically?
Yeah.
And then for what we're competing against, and obviously everybody knows the bigger company in Scotland. Again, I'm not going to name them because I didn't want to.
Because this is DJ's brand.
Nah, listen, everybody knows Kenny Arthur's done incredible with that. It's Charlie, super stuff. And we're not trying to compete with him.
Yeah.
I'm not at that point where I'm saying to him, like, oh no, I'm trying to steal all your... No, that's not the case. Yeah. I'm just trying to build a wee brand that I can do, that I can continue to do, and it gives me something else to do outside of football as well.
Very good. I think that's pretty much us. Kind of covered everything off. Any final questions for our guest? Death row meal. There we go. Death row meal. And what is your favourite type of potato? That's what we're going to go with.
Nice.
2 questions to finish.
Definitely.
They weren't going to my questions, by the way.
Death row meal, 3 courses.
All right, okay.
Starter.
I would never go anywhere else other than Tony Macaroni's for the mozzarella sticks.
Oh, actually.
Oh,
not bad. By the way.
They're like
Big chunky
blocks of cheese, and a gear.
with that wee kind of red.
It's a bit. It's tangy. It's not because it's not spicy, so that's tangy.
That's me. Absolutely love mozzarella sticks.
Oh, I know what I'm going after here.
Don't
You're not getting paid either.
Mozzarella sticks, and I would specifically choose the ones. That's the ones I like.
I like that. Aye, let's go specifics if you're picking elsewhere.
Oh, I wasn't going to do that. Specifics for something else. Love a pasta dish. Don't know what it would be specific, but I just like it's a contadina. It's called. It's creamy mushrooms, spinach, wee bits of chicken, and pasta. I've not got anywhere specific for that, to be honest, but like that's the kind of general what I would.
Homemade for best of gear.
Homemade. I do like. I've made it. I actually have got it into a tea because I've done it so much. But
I cannot believe you've not went red box cheesy pasta.
Nah, can't do that. No.
It's just pretty much you don't.
That's my dessert. And to be actually, I would go specific again for dessert. So the Nando's cheesecake, salted caramel cheesecake, I love it. I've always actually looked to see if I can order it somewhere else rather than just go there and spend an absolute fortune to get a tiny wee saggy flap. But they give you a cream thing that goes on the top as well, and the cream's incredible and all. So I'll go with that. There you go. Aye, very good.
What was the other question? Final.
Favourite
type of potato.
Right, so this is
now we're
random
talking because there's hunters.
This is a random way of like saying things, right? My mum used to do it. So see, if you would make like mince and tatties or something like that, obviously you would have loads of potato left over because she always overcook them. My mum used to, so they would be boiled to start. So boil them to start with.
Right.
Then they get put in the fridge because then obviously they're cold. And my mum used to fry the potato. And it was like a supper meal. That's what we used to do. Like for a meal, she used to cut them up and fry the potato. So if I was to pick it, I would genuinely say the fried potato my mum used to make.
That is not an answer we've had.
Amazing.
I love that though.
Try it. So if you're making minced potatoes, just
a couple
have
of
a bit extra.
All right.
And then they used to sit in the fridge just to go cold. I don't know if it helped. It might not.
We'll do it though.
A chef will check.
They say it does with rice, with fried rice it does. So
all right, okay.
It's both start
maybe. So then my mum used to put them in the potato. It was just purely because we had them for supper. So we had mince and tatties and we'd have them later on. Go in the fridge. Sit in the fridge, freezing cold, because I used to have to cut them up. And then you... it's like you got your muscles fit.
It's got the balls on, dude.
Hey, that's what I needed. There you go. See if you want to cut the potatoes up.
Then his own potatoes.
Would be the fried potatoes Mum used to make. There you go.
Very good. Very, very good. Like it.
Different answer, but it was a good one.
Probably the best.
I'm actually feeling it, yeah.
Probably the best.
Try it, I'm telling you.
Anyway, Darren, thanks very much for your time. Really appreciate it. This has been Down the Vale. Thanks very much for tuning in. Like and subscribe as always. Anything else, Mr. Hasty?
No, thanks for having me.
No worries. Thanks for your time.
Is it true that Darren Jamieson scored 8 out of 8 penalties when he played for Murieston United with you?
That's true.
Thank you. Did you get that recorded?
I got that recorded.
Thank you very much.
It was true.
Thank you.
We had him on the podcast last night. So he was a penalty taker because he was an underemployed goalkeeper. I think we conceded 6 goals in the whole season. so he didn't really have much to do. So
You got him to take
somebody
the
missed a penalty, and he was like, "I want to take one." So we let him take it. It's because he scored. He was like, "Well, I get to take it." Until I miss. And he never missed.
And he never missed.
He was a good penalty taker, by the way.